What's going on, you brothers? What's going on? It's another classic talk. It's another, you know, classic for the ages, future classic. And as you know, it is customary to sing the official theme song. Do, 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 do. We would like to welcome you to everything there is to know. This is our life, this is our time. We're the Passport Bros. We'd like to welcome you to everything there is to know. This is our life, this is our time. We're the Passport Bro. We'd like to welcome you to everything there is to know. This is our life, this is our time. We're the Passport Bros. We'd like to welcome you to the Passport Bro show. Let's get cracking, bro. Let's get cracking, man. We out here. Theo, that was amazing, right? Great vocals there, right?
It's hard to tell which would I rather do, that or lunges. Hard. So I don't know. Okay, we're done. We're done for this week. We can continue on. Okay, let's have fun.
Awesome, bro. So, brothers, welcome to another future classic Passport Bro show. I want to say first and foremost, thank you all for the support over the past couple of years. It's been greatly appreciated, and welcome aboard the new people. I accept and I embrace you with open arms. So when you come in and the live stream today, brothers, please like the video. Please show some support. Please hit the super chats. Please hit the PayPal donations. Join the Patreon too to go on the IT's mentorship plan to get into IT. Join the Platinum tier or the IP Lightning tier. And of course, make sure you cop the merch as well, okay? So, going to be a very important Passport Bro show today, brothers. And before I do so, let's have some introductions here. So I'm IP International Passport. If you're new to the channel, I have been traveling for a long time, encouraging brothers to travel, get into IT, and I push forward, being a brother that has that global mentality. Theo, do you mind giving a brief intro about yourself, bro?
Sure. So my name is Theo. I've been abroad for over 20 years. I was not military. I was as a civilian. I studied at St. Petersburg University. I studied at the Sorbonne. I have 2 master's degrees. So I have a career in cloud, IT cloud security, particularly cloud security architecture. I also teach classes with AWS and Azure, maybe GCP if we get around to it, maybe some Oracle. Yeah, I've been a Passport Bro for a very long time, since 1991. Speak 4 languages: French, Russian, Japanese. Japanese is amazingly fluent, so I can pretty well think and do everything in Japanese. Yeah, that's me. I've been around the world more than once, so yep, that's it.
Awesome. Thank you very much for that intro there, Theo. So let's get the show and talk cracking, okay? So today, as you see in the live stream, topic and title, okay, why Passport Bros must prepare for the upcoming multipolar world. Okay, so we're going to be discussing geopolitics as we're Passport Bros, as we have a global mindset. We'll be traveling, and what happens around the world will affect us in some way or form. So, what do I mean by a multipolar world? So, as you know, we currently live in a unipolar world. What does that mean? So, America, right, particularly the Western nations, but I say America's at the top, runs the world. I think that's no questions asked. The dollar is a reserve currency. America has the biggest industrial military complex, also has nukes, is a very powerful nation, and it influences different areas of the world in the Middle East, Africa, South America. Okay, So ever since, let's say, World War II, it's been America running stuff behind the show through proxies or even direct. Okay, so we are now in 2023 and nations are rising. Okay, um, we're seeing China, India, Iran, Russia, right, rise up to set their own destiny and become power players in this world. Okay, so now it's becoming a multipolar world, not as powerful as America yet, but wanting to be at the pinnacle, at the top, be the headline of everything, right? So, what does that mean for us passport bros? Okay, there are many things it means as we're in IT, as we're traveling, as we become older and wiser. We want to have that global mentality, okay? And definitely we want to have power as well. So a multipolar world will give us more opportunities, in my opinion. It allows us to, have connections all around the world. Okay, it allows us to travel with our IT skill sets and work in these countries. It allows us to unlock a whole load of opportunities. But for us, right, for some reason in this multipolar world, us as brothers, we're not in that discussion there. There is no African country that's in that realm of they're getting power, they're getting influence. It's mostly India, Russia, China, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and a few other countries. Theo, what's your opening statement here, brother?
Mm, well, I would say on the world stage, there's really two hegemons. So the United States would be the first, and then the EU would be the second. But nobody has the military as the United States does, not even close.
Mm.
And nobody has the technology nor the production capability, particularly for advanced manufacturing. And nobody's going to have that at least for the next 30 years. So it's still going to be for a long time. We're going to still be looking at this world. America is a little interesting, I think, because it's kind of receding in a way, but in a good way. So it still has very powerful allies, and it's still going to do some degree of control. But the big question is going to be what countries have rule of law, what countries actually have democracy and allow not only for property ownership, but they also have a decent legal system where property ownership can be challenged or established, so that individual rights can be established. Um, and then where is there going to be population growth? So passport bros, I would say, would need to be looking at these points very carefully um, when they want to decide where they want to go and why.
Absolutely, there, brother. Absolutely. But I also want to touch upon a point here, right?
Mhm.
Um, America, okay, runs the world, has great influence worldwide, but we can say that America's power is slowly decreasing. So let's deconstruct America itself, right? Politically, you have a left wing side and a right wing side, and there is no in between, bro. You're either a Trump supporter or you're either Biden. So you're either right wing or left wing. There is no compromise there, right? And we're seeing the indictment of Donald Trump, right,
Mhm.
happening in the past few weeks. If he goes to jail, okay, there could potentially be a civil, so forth and so forth. I'll keep it a stack, right? So everyone in America isn't aligned to the same ideals. Okay, that people are seeing what's happening in Palestine. Okay, they're like, what's going on here? Why is America supporting that particular country, Israel? Okay,
Mhm.
so all people support Israel in what's happening in the Middle East. Okay, so there's a huge divide there. There's also a huge divide between liberals and conservatives. There's a huge divide between the woke culture and the non-woke culture. Okay, so if a country isn't united in most serious things, okay, To me, that isn't a good thing. What's your thoughts about that, bro?
Really, in the United States, the corporations are the main power. So, I mean, whatever the Democrats or the Republicans do, it's very minimal compared to the corporations. Both parties are in the corporations' hands. So, let's say that, you know, people don't like the current political situation, they decided to rise up. Well, it'd be the corporations that would squash that themselves because they're not going to allow that kind of behavior because it's bad for profits. So I'm not really worried about that so much. What I am worried about is the ability for middle class to actually um, attain like what could be considered to be the American dream, which is home ownership.
Mm.
That is a greater problem right now and a bigger threat. I see that even with all the money I've got, I'm very surprised about how bad the situation is in the states.
Mm.
So that's the concern. Regarding Israel, well, yeah, I the history, oh, good lord. Mm, I mean, the amount of problems that are there. I mean, you mean you're in the UK? You guys in the UK are
Just as much as photos that I agree, bro. The decorations.
yeah. The issue is, I mean, the history is so complex. My personal feeling is that, I mean, something official should be done regarding Palestine, um, and something that could be satisfying for everyone. I don't see it happening because as long as um, as long as the Jerusalem is held in non-Muslim hands, there's going to be a problem.
Mm.
So, how do you deal with that? I I have no idea. I really don't. Regarding the attack that just happened, I mean, it was clearly you got people at a rave just being civilians that are being gunned down. So I can't justify that, even from a historical point of view. They're just people going out and raving. Like I rave, I go to rave sometimes. I love it, and I don't want to have to be worried about being shot at. Rave, right? So I'm really not that happy about that situation. I'll say that. So, but I don't also the same way. There's a lot of innocent Gazans. That's Ghanaians. I don't know how to say the adjective. There's a lot of people in Gaza who are about to lose their lives,
Mm.
and I'm not particularly happy about that either.
Same here, bro. I've seen some crazy videos over social media as to what's happening in Gaza, the bombings. It is sickening. I'm seeing just it really ruined my day. I'll tell you that. But back to the middle class point, right?
Mhm.
That's a very good point there, and I think that that's something that is being very much ignored in the West and in America. The middle class is shrinking to the
Yeah.
point where you're either very rich or you're very poor in the
Yeah.
West and in America.
Yeah.
Inflation's getting higher. Okay, things are spiraling out of control, and the prices will not drop. It will stay the same, then go up after a few years. Stay the same, go up after a few years. So we can clearly see that something isn't right in the West.
Mhm.
Okay, there are uncontrollable forces that are just making people poorer and suffering to a great deal. So, in this multipolar world, okay, where do we come into that in terms of in terms of passport bros? Because there are certain countries that I feel like are going to set the agenda in the next 20, 30 years, even 5 years from now. China, Saudi Arabia, without a single doubt, Russia, okay, Iran, okay, right? Those countries are making some powerful shadowy moves, right? To you know to make the world you know less America focused. You got to remember that America has military bases in literally every other Western country. And we know what we know what military bases are for, right? If a country, right, has a military base of another country, the country that has that military base there kind of runs that country, kind of has very powerful sway in that country. Okay, so where do you see, brother Theo, right? Those four countries I've labeled, where they're going in the future, brother, and how does that fit into Passport Bros?
Honest opinion, my honest opinion is that Iran will never beat Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia's Navy and Air Force are more than enough to take out Iran and actually control their oil supply. They make it so that Iran cannot sell their oil. So Iran has got to deal with the Saudis straight out from the beginning. Of the players that you mentioned, only the Saudis are really free. But do you really want to live there? Yeah. Next one, Russia and China are both facing massive population losses. Their populations are decreasing. China's population is going to decrease in a massive manner. If you look at that, plus that most of their economy has been growing as a form of debt, and their companies are like 3 times, the companies hold debt 3 times greater than the size of the Chinese GDP. That's massive. That is a problem. And if you have that in combination with a declining population and the fact that they don't make advanced semiconductors or advanced manufacturing, they're all still basic manufacturing and they depend on the West for that, then they're not in a real player position. Also, you don't have real rule of law there, and you don't have real ownership. What I mean by property ownership. What I mean by that is, yes, on paper they do have it, but the Communist Party decides they want your stuff. You're gonna lose your stuff. Russia, the only thing Russia has of value is oil and gas. Although I do respect their science, it's phenomenal. But mainly they are dependent on imports from other countries for food and manufacturing. So they're not really as strong as you would think that they are. So they can trade, but not really. They don't have warm water ports to actually trade their oil effectively. And their oil and their gas pipelines can only go so much. So they're actually limited. They don't really have value add. So the only second country that I would be looking at would be India. India's future looks interesting. And then the next one would be Brazil, because Brazil is actually somewhat self-sufficient, but not in terms of manufacturing. In terms of basic things, it's self-sufficient. But it's still not, if the world decided they're not selling semiconductors or memory chips to Brazil, they'd be screwed right then and there. There's nothing they can do about it. They keep on going, but they would be backwards. So in those situations, those countries don't have the real government institutional reforms that they need to do in order to really capitalize on human capital. And the specialists in those countries tend to leave. In particular of those, Russia. If you are a specialist in Russia, it's like successful black men dating ABW. If you're a successful high-value man, you're probably dating out. In Russia, if you're successful, you know what you're doing, you're probably leaving the country. So they need to be able to attract capital, and they're not. They have capital flight. So even the Yakuza, the mafia in Russia, they send their money abroad, particularly Cyprus. So I mean, if you have that kind of situation, what are they supposed to do? So it's not so good in that way, although they are there. I mean, they are there. I would say that there's going to be a power vacuum, yes, but it's not going to be in that way that we thought it was in the last century. It's going to be like a soft power. So, for example, South America is going to be able to attract the best and brightest people. It's very simple, because if you can work abroad, why wouldn't you live in South America? Right?
Yeah.
So like so I can work abroad, right? Am I going to work in Russia? No, because I fear for my life in Russia. So there's no way. I don't have real right for ownership, even if I get married there. I don't have real property rights. I don't have real human rights. I know that in Russia. I'm not going to live there. Same thing for China. But Colombia, yeah. Brazil, yeah. Argentina, yeah. Chile, yeah. You're okay.
Hmm.
So it's going to be like Russians going to South America, Europeans going to South America, Americans going to South America, Japanese going to South America, Australians going to South America. That's how, like, give an example of a real power rising. Also,
Hmm.
South Africa, not South Africa, the country, but Southern Africa. So from Nambia to Tanzania, that area is going to hugely develop and become populous with people who can work. And that's also could be the same kind of method. You can have people from Europe, United States going there expecting a certain kind of life, and then their offspring is going to be there as well, and they're going to be educated to a certain level. So the jobs will be remote for the West, but they'll live in another country.
Fantastic, bro. Great breakdown there, Theo. I actually want to touch upon India. India have like you mentioned, a very interesting future, and I'll tell you why. They have a growing population. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
they are very tech savvy. Okay, and
yeah,
one thing that I'll give them props for is that in every Western country I've been to, I've seen they are successful. In the UK, they are extremely successful. In America, they are extremely successful. In Africa, they are extremely successful. In Australia, they are also extremely successful. Okay, so our president, sorry, our prime minister in the UK is an Indian man, Rishi Sunak.
mm,
Okay,
mm,
he comes from he's a billion he comes from a billionaire family. His wife's a billionaire, or his wife's father is a billionaire. So Indian, right? They
mm,
have wealth. They are building wealth, and they got nukes as well. And we saw what happened in Canada the other week as well when they did something in Vancouver, right? And even Canada is backing off. Even Canada is shook of India, brothers. So this power play, like I've always said this, right? Art, art simply emulates life. So we all know what Game of Thrones is, right? Game of Thrones is a bunch of
mm,
families fighting over, the war, resources, territory. That's exactly what's happening in planet Earth right now, brothers. Okay, that's exactly
mm,
what's happening in planet Earth right now. So we cannot get left behind in this upcoming multipolar world. Now, Africa is still developing. Okay, and I wish the best for Africa, but it's going to take a couple more years for Africa to get to the top. Okay,
mhm.
so we as Western brothers, right, with our resources, with our knowledge, have to start thinking globally. So Theo mentioned South America, and I agree. Great weather, beautiful woman. Okay, so when we go out there, we can actually invest there. We can make connections there, and we can build like a small, thriving passport bros community that's
Mhm.
interconnected in South America. What's your thoughts about that, Theo?
Yeah, I would definitely agree with there. We're in South America, so it actually has the fundamentals that passport bros would actually need. They have internet, fast internet, decent rule of law, food, because we're we're Westerners, right? So we have certain standards. We're not going to accept like cuts, right? So they don't have anything like that. Like it actually is it's pretty well developed, and it has low prices, and we have great family structure. So it gives us the conservatism that we want. We can have families and enjoy that. I think that's really true. Regarding India, mixed feelings about India. Um, Obviously, I mean, it's kind of how can I say this? India and China are really only interested in their borders, and this is from a historical point of view. So, like, India doesn't want to take over Europe. Europe wants to take over India. Europe wants to take over China. They've done it, but India historically just doesn't care. It cares about its borders. Yes, they have nukes, but it's only for people within their borders, what they consider to be their borders historically. China's pretty much the same way. They're they're not really going to be using their if any country they're going to nuke, it would be Japan. It would be anybody else. Like maybe a few above Russia just to show them who's the local boss, but that's about it. They're not they're not like a global threat like that. So they don't have a navy. They don't have a real ability to project power, but they do have human capital. So the question is do they have what we want? Do they have something that we're going to be changing our assets for? And I would say to some degree, yes and no. It's kind of like up in the air with India. So yeah, maybe something is going to happen. Can't see it. Again, if they're more excited about H-1B1 visas than we are, then they're not really in the steering wheel, are they? But they do have a good space program. Yeah, that's something. They are investing in the right way, which is in tech. They do have very good tech. Not on America's level, but a lot of American tech is sitting there being developed by Indians. So, okay, they've got something. But in terms of manufacturing, they're catching up, but not. Again, you see like advanced microchip fabrication. I believe 60% of it is done by the United States. I mean, actually manufactured in the United States. So, I mean, they're not at that level. They're not doing like advanced stuff. They don't have Intel or AMD like that. So they do have something though. They're moving. We'll see what they do.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So let me move it on to territory, because land is very important in this world. Land is what people are fighting for resources, for territory. And the way I'm seeing the multipolar world is that Russia wants Eastern Europe to be under complete Russian influence. China wants Eastern Asia to be under China's influence, and that includes influencing Japan and South Korea. Okay, um, Africa, I don't know what's going on there. I'm just no comment. Um, where else? The Middle East, right? It's very simple that Israel and Iran, sorry, want to be the top influences there in that region, adding to play Saudi Arabia. Okay,
Mm.
so when it comes to that, right, that's where I see the multipolar world going. So economics, making money, okay, is going to be, let's say, easier, okay, than it probably is now in 5 years, 10 years time. Tech will become even more advanced. There'll be more opportunities, brothers, in my opinion, in the
Mm.
IT space. But what's your thoughts about that, territory split there, brother? Is that where you see the multipolar world going towards too?
Well, regarding Eastern Europe, they don't want to be under Russian's influence. And that's the big issue. So Ukraine wants to go with Western Europe, with the EU in particular. And of course, you already see Poland. So that's not going to stop. The Ukrainians have definitely put their feet down, and so have the Baltics. So, I mean, what's Russia to do? They could reform. They could actually be nice neighbors and be inviting of people instead of Russia's number one export being people, not human capital, but actual people, because so many leave. Um, so they have work to do, but they're not going to do it. Again, they're kind of like the ABW going around saying that they're right. And you're like, no, man, I'm gone. And they're like, I don't care. So that's kind of dysfunctional environment. Um, Regarding China, what I particularly would love to see, I've always wanted this, is if we can come to some sort of agreement and say, like, get North Korean and South Korean reunification, and then get Taiwan to join China. And if we do that, we actually can say, from a historical point of view, that World War II is over in Asia. I don't see that happening, but I would love it to be that way because it
Mm.
would solve a lot of problems. And I think the Koreans would like that, and it would give area for, when I say investment, it would be good. And then China would have their historical role, except the United States. Okay, Japan will always be a colony in the United States, like for the next 200-300 years at least.
Currently is. It currently is, brother. I think we can admit
Yeah,
that. It
it's a
currently is
colony.
by America.
Yeah, it's a colony. So, but it will Japan will not be able to leave that colony status for at least 200 years. That's just not going to go away. So it does. I don't see it happening that way. I know too many Taiwanese people. Again, I've been there. I've talked with Taiwanese people. They fundamentally want to have their own country, and that's the problem. So what do you do? And you have real historical issues going on in the United States and Taiwan. So hard. That's a hard one. Would like it though. It'd be like if they could just get along, but I don't see it. And then what's the next one? Africa. I think Africa will develop. It'll be slow, but I mean they'll go step by step, and we'll get something. Let's say the Africa we'll have in our older years will be better than the Africa during our childhoods. And that's a good point. Regarding the Middle East, Saudi Arabia will remain the power player, as it's always been. And it'll just get stronger. What they do regarding Israel, I mean, it'd be nice if they can come to some sort of agreement, something. But I mean, I understand. I've heard the argument from all sides. I mean, I'm fully aware of that. But something needs to happen that's decent.
Do you know why I want a multipolar world? Well, I am itching for a multipolar world, okay? This unipolar world that is headed by America is pushing out liberal values that I don't agree with, certain liberal values that I don't agree with. The breakdown of the nuclear family, the rainbow stuff, other things like, feminism, okay? This is what the unipolar America a machine is pushing that wants to push all around the world. I don't agree with that. So I'm not saying that, China, Iran, Saudi Arabia, India, etc., Russia are perfect, right? But okay, I can see why they are itching for a multipolar world. Okay, values matter. Values matter. These other places are conservative. They want tradition. I'm also traditional. I want tradition. Okay, if the only way to counteract the unipolar liberal agenda is to be, multipolar, get more weapons, protect yourself, have influence over your region. I don't agree with that, Theo. I agree with that, Theo. I think I agree with that, bro. Because I don't think liberalism is the way forward, bruv.
I would say they need to have like their own Hollywood. So, like for example, India has Bollywood. That's called Bollywood, right? They have their own media, their own movies. So the liberal agenda is less likely to be seen there. Of course, though, we all know that India is being affected by feminism right now. So if you're able to make your own media and show something that's as an alternative to the West, then you're okay. So that's like, it's kind of individual level. I would say, like, for example, for myself, I'm a big Star Wars fan. And when I see wokeism with Disney right now, I do the best thing that I can, which is just to stop my Disney Plus membership for a while. Say, hey, look, you guys have gone too far. I'm not gonna spend my money on that. Some people do make those decisions, but some people don't. So a lot of cultures are fundamentally conservative, and they're not going to go with this, with what the West is doing. I don't think that liberalism can continue in the West as it is for the next 10 to 15 years, because they won't. From a financial point of view, and what they're advocating is not tenable and not sustainable. Fundamentally, people are going to say, hey, I want kids, I want a family, and liberalism doesn't have any real answer for this. They tend to be destructive of that. So in that case, again, South America will continue to rise. Southeast Asia will continue. And these family
Indonesia.
structures will definitely, Indonesia, right?
Yeah.
They'll they'll definitely continue to make kids, and this will go through, and people will start flocking to areas like Passport Bros where we can make kids. I would say also that you're probably going to see the Chinese doing this as well. So you're already seeing Chinese businessmen go to Ukraine. They're going to parts of Africa. They're going to Thailand and also South America in order to find a wife. Japanese are doing this also. So, when men have their options, at least I can say that they will exercise their options, and they're willing to travel to go where it's necessary to make a family.
Brother, that's a great point there. That was going to be my next point, actually. Dating in this multipolar world, it's very important. But hold on there, brother. Got a couple of super chats. Shout out to Mr. Ethan's Journey for the 10,000 Colombian pesos. Thank you, bro. South America is amazing. Been here for 9 months. The Python class is amazing. One of my students, from his words himself, the Python class is amazing. Appreciate you, bro, for saying that. Just practicing what we learned last Sunday right now while watching. There you go, brothers, man. IP coming through again with another incredible Python class. Appreciate you, Ethan. Great student, listens very well, and I wish all the best for you, brother, in your IT career. Okay. Shout out to Mr. J Remo for the £5 super chat. Theo, a Jedi Knight in the clouds fight, battles the text sifts with all his might. Wits sharp as a lightsaber's glow, he makes IT's troubles bow low. That's pretty good, mate.
I like that. That was good, Jay. I like that, but I'm like, okay, well, there's a little bit more of Anakin and Darth Malgus inside of me than Obi-Wan. So I mean, I like Obi-Wan, but sometimes using Force Choke and Force Lightning gets the job done a little bit better. So, yeah, thank you, Jay.
Right. Two nerds speaking here. I don't understand nerd speak. So now,
come on, Force Lightning. You know Force Lightning?
Nope. I know Star Wars, but I don't know what that is, bro.
So Emperor Palpatine, when he didn't like somebody, went shaki.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, Force Lightning. And then
how do you even know what that was even called, bruv? Come on, man.
Because the books, the games, it's called Force Lightning. It's a really good power. So you just like, for example, somebody's messing with you, like, okay, fine. So you put Force Lightning onto your lightsaber, then you just start stabbing them. You stab them, get them, put Force Lightning into their body through the wound, and then you just shock them again with Force Lightning, and then they're gone. You're like, yeah, huh? That's right.
Wow. Okay.
That's barbecued you.
So in my notes here, right? Dating. So why Passport Bros gotta be aware of this upcoming multipolar world. Dating is going to be even more international. Whereas brothers as Passport Bros, we want to have that international dating. But as the world becomes more interconnected, as countries want to influence each other's politics and influence interests. For example, South Korea pushing that soft power of K-pop, K-dramas. That has actually, brainwashed a lot of Western women to like Asian men and Korean men. Again, that's actually a fact. Come to the UK, you're gonna see a whole bunch, a line of people waiting for a BTS concert, screaming after Asian guys. So in this multipolar world, as we share information, as we push out different media, every other dude, every other race will be dating internationally. Okay. I feel sorry for Keisha. Okay. I don't know about Keisha, but I can speak in terms of, ourselves, white men, Asian men, etc., etc. They're gonna be, obviously as we're doing, looking abroad, dating this, that, as the power shifts. Would you agree with that, Theo?
I would say we're talking about two different ideas here. So we're talking about capitalistic power, and then we're talking about demand for family. So family, cultural values. I don't have a problem with K-pop with what they're doing because it's like having their own Bollywood, right? So I mean, if they make a system where people like Korean men, so be it. But I mean, Korean men are some of the most conservative men I know. They're they're anti-liberal entirely, so I don't have a problem with that. But they're not going to go out with Western women either. So I, I just kind of laugh at it. It's like, okay, cool. So you're basically you're having this idea of, okay, where do you work? Where's your working coming from? Then who do you marry? And then where can you live? Those are three different ideas. So, for example, my work is from America. But if I had it my way, my wife would probably be Russian or Ukrainian. Am I going to live in Russia or Ukraine? No way. Ain't going to happen. So I would like to live in Colombia or Brazil. So I was just talking to a Ukrainian about this today, and she was like, why don't you want to marry a Brazilian? I'm like, I like Brazilian women, but I prefer to have a Slavic woman as my wife, but live in Brazil. You know,
best of both worlds.
Yeah, and you get the situation. I mean, I have right to own property. Prices are good. Food is good. Travel opportunities are amazing. Lack of pollution. They have a wonderful infrastructure and good internet. Why wouldn't I want to be there? That makes sense to me. So you're going to be thinking about that, like in this kind of world in the future. Like, well, this is coming pretty much now. Like, who do you want? And so there's some people who are not going to be chosen. You know, for example, we all talk about this. Western women, largely speaking, are not going to be chosen en masse. It's the way it is. But, you know, do you want to live in the West? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe not. But someplace else, yes. So who do you want to marry? Well, there's many options for that. So can you take, like, for example, it's like South Korea. Let's say I married a Korean woman. Great. Would I want to live in South Korea? Maybe yes, maybe no. Maybe I'd rather go to another country and not live in South Korea, but I want a South Korean wife. So there's got to be those kind of options. We got to be thinking about it in that kind of way.
Yes, indeed, bro. So 2 more points before we do the reaction, bro. This is a great discussion here. Another point is the money system, right? As we move more multipolar, countries will be becoming more wealthier, you know, via business interests, resources, etc., etc. One particular region, right? I'm pinpointing is the Middle East, particularly Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE, Bahrain, Kuwait. These countries will become even more wealthier, right? So we as passport bros need to tap into that particular market. Now, it's much better for us to work in the Middle East than in Russia. I'll keep it a stack. You want to be in UAE rather than being in Russia at the moment. UAE pays more. UAE has more IT opportunities, and UAE is more safer than Russia to a brother, right? So that particular region there, brother, you know, the Middle East area where it's a popping IT hub, but still has a lot of wealth there. How can passport bros tap into that space? And would that be a very influential, let's say, choke point for the passport bros, brother, going in the next few years, brother? Break it down for us.
It depends on. I mean, I haven't researched their ability to. I know the rule of law is good. So it's more like, what is your ability to own property? From what I'm hearing, you do have the right to own property as a foreigner. So that would definitely be an option, and they're able to import everything that they need. And then, of course, their tech is the infrastructure is very good, and they have pretty much everything that we would want in the West without the liberal values. Cool. So I mean, that's definitely an option. They have a lot of international companies. Yeah, that UAE sounds great. Of course, I look at Dubai and say I wouldn't date there. I'd bring a wife there, but I wouldn't date there because you don't know what happened to that woman if you date there. like seriously, I'm like, I don't know what's with you. Dubai is one of those countries. It's kind of like, you know, if a girl says to me like she had a girls' weekend in Las Vegas, I'm like, okay, you're off the menu. Well, Dubai is that on a super level. So I don't know how many like times I've been interested in the Ukrainian girl, and she sends me a photo of her in Dubai. I'm like, okay, we're done.
So, brother,
Just the
right?
way
So,
it is.
so you would never date, right, a woman that has lived in Dubai, that has lived there for a certain period of time, particularly Ukrainian women and Eastern European
Oh,
women, brother. You're gonna be like, oh
yeah.
no, tell us why for the brothers, bro.
Um, mm, um, yeah. Let's just say there's some things about her you may not want to know. So it's just better not to ask because it could make like you know adult videos and OnlyFans look like Disneyland.
Jeez.
So yeah, you just don't play around with it. The things that I've heard with Dubai, it's just ridiculous. It's just sad. So I just wouldn't do it.
Fair enough, bro. Fair enough, brother.
Yeah,
There is Abu Dhabi as well, which is a lot more conservative than Dubai. A lot of jobs there too. So don't give
yeah.
up hope there, brothers. But actually, good point there, Theo, right? I don't see a problem with bringing your family and your children over to Dubai, taking them to a school there in Dubai that is
Mhm.
conservative, that has traditional values. Absolutely, brother. I'd rather my future kids, go to Dubai for school than in the
Hmm.
UK, where it's liberal garbage every single day in the classrooms. Absolute
Yeah,
facts, bro.
yeah. I have the same feeling. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I just wouldn't date there. But yeah, I mean, you're entirely correct. They have the correct values, the correct family values. I mean, uh, honestly speaking, I would love my children, my future children, to be educated in Japan. That's a phenomenal area for children. So, I mean, I would be more than happy to do that there in Japan. But Japan still has quite a way to go. They need some massive reforms. They can't necessarily accept someone like that. So it's kind of unfortunate, but it's life. Um, what can I say?
Well, when you say massive reforms, what does that break it down for us further, bro? What do you mean by that?
They need to have like banking reforms regarding housing.
Mm,
So first off is that you don't have to be a national in order to own a home there. And then the second point would be you don't have to be a national in order to get a bank loan, a mortgage. So the two things going against you in Japan is actually the ability to get the land as a foreigner and then actually getting a mortgage. It's both are almost it's impossible to do, insurmountable if you're not married to a native. So yeah, that's the way. Again, my little point of view on that one. So they have some way to go, but I don't see them rushing right now because they're kind of like living in the past. So oh well.
good point there, Theo. So I got two more points here. So I want to focus these points on Iran and Russia, right? Two major powers that would definitely want to have their voice heard like a lion, right? And it's more in terms of invasion. People are talking about, hey, we need to invade Russia, invade Iran, and end the Iranian regime, and the Russian regime. I'm trying to tell these people, right? That's not happening, bruv. Iran is very hard to evade. There's mountains surrounding Iran. Iran has a very capable military. Okay, it potentially has nukes. Okay, it has a great intelligence agency and service. It has a very powerful army. Don't just throw around words like, "I need to end the Iranian regime." It ain't happening. For Russia, right? We know Russia has one of the best intelligence agencies of all time. Okay, plus, it has an abundance of nukes. They're not going to go down fighting. They will go down taking the world with them fighting, bruv. We can't be throwing around, invading these two countries, blah, blah, blah. They're not going to go down without a single fight, particularly Russia. And he's about that, Putin, in my opinion. He's about that life, bruh. What's your thoughts, Theo?
You want my real opinion?
Yeah.
Um, Russia's kind of like a drunken man in a trailer park talking about how other people want his trailer, and the rich people from the rich side of town don't want anything to do with him. And that's really how I feel about Russia, unfortunately. So we don't the West has no desire for Russian land. It's worthless. It has some nice things in there, like lithium or neon. That's some good. They have some raw materials that's good. Also, phosphorates for making fertilizer. Sure, but that's you don't take over a country for that. Historically speaking, they've been dysfunctional for 1,000 years. Why would we ever want to take them over? It makes no sense. Let them be. This is one of the things I laugh about regarding the war right now, because they want to establish their borders basically, what was it, to the west of Ukraine and then at least in the middle of Poland, because that position is easier to defend. And I keep on telling Russians, I mean, like there's other people, I'm like, the West doesn't want to invade you because you have nothing there. You have cold weather, ice, and land that really doesn't produce anything. So why would we want you? In the United States and Canada together can feed the entire planet. Why would we want that place? So anyone talking about going and invading Russia, they're nuts. There's nothing there. There really is. There's nothing. It's more like we could just turn around and say, "Hey, Russians, we have food, like nice food. We have avocados, and like we have Mexico. Mexico gives us avocados, which are like real cheap, and we've got pineapple and coconuts, and we have rice and wheat and some other good food, and we have rule of law, and you can own property without having any fear of losing it. They also have due process. Would you like to come over here?" They'll be like, "Yeah, sure." So they'll come over, right? So I mean, that's how I look at them. Like, you don't want to be in Russia. There's nothing to gain. Look, think about this in the war, right? In the beginning, when Russia invading Ukraine, you got a bunch of Russians looting Ukrainian homes and looking for tractors and washing machines. That's some ghetto crap. Seriously, that's ghetto. That's you expect that from the hood going into like Target and looting something because they don't have it inside their house, they can't afford it, right? So they're not. That's not an advanced power. That means they have serious economic problems. You don't loot a country. You don't go to war with the country so you get their washing machine. So, I mean, for real. And then they didn't understand that what John Deere, they could turn off their tractors remotely because they had through GPS, they knew how to do it. The Russians couldn't figure that out. That's sad. So, I mean, in terms from a cultural point of view, I understand that from a culture. There's some things I understand from a cultural point of view, from family structure. I get, but I mean, ultimately, nobody wants to be there, so you're not going to have a war with them. Regarding Iran, yeah, it's not just the West that would like to go knock out Iran. It's also Saudi Arabia. They would really like to do it themselves. So yeah, they got the mountains. They got a lot there. They got people who are really willing to fight until the end. So you're not able to have the war with Iran, but everybody knows a lot of countries like to go there and have a little talk with it.
Don't mess
I just,
nah, go on.
I don't think we should, because it's gonna be a bloodbath on both sides. So there's just no reason to do it.
There isn't. I think Iran, they are on the way to being untouchable. They're a very well functioning Middle Eastern state. So last point here, bro, is so no country is going to be on top forever. Okay, America is going to lose a spot, whether it's 100 years from now, whether it's 50 years from now, they won't be on top. Indonesia is rising, India is rising. They don't want to be, being told by America, do that, do this. It ain't gonna happen, right? So I remember in the 80s, right? Japan had a very prosperous economy. People saying, "Oh, Japan's up next; they're going to run the world." And then their economy crashed pretty bad, the Japanese bubble. So that can happen to America anytime. It really can. So let's make it very clear. Like, I know people are frustrated about the West, America The EU and America will not be on top forever. Africa will rise, hopefully, and I want to see other nations rise as well. I don't personally believe there should be any poor countries in this world. It makes no sense economically, but we know the economy is rigged, in my opinion. It's certain rules that were created by people to make it this way, and I'll tell you why I feel that way. So, Theo, you know that millions of years ago, dinosaurs were roaming the earth, right? Dinosaurs, okay? And back then, there was no economic system because humans didn't exist. So human beings created this economic system. And if we created it, why are countries poor? So bear that in mind, brothers. A lot of things in this world are truly not, what it seems. Seeing is not believing, in my opinion. Question things, do your own research. And then may the passport bros be successful now, today, and forevermore.
I would say on that you have a trading bloc, which is NAFTA, Japan, South Korea, and then the next one's going to be the UK, because the UK were crazy to leave the EU. I mean, truly mental. And the EU, of course, France will never allow a beneficial trading agreement with the UK. It'll never happen. The French hate the English. The 100 Years' War never ended between your two countries. So, all right, so the UK will be the United States. This trading bloc will continue to be able to produce a lot in coming into the future, and they'll keep on going. So it is basically no other power will be able to project power into that NAFTA agreement environment. But in terms of thinking about international, like police keeping or projecting power militarily, the United States will be able to do this to some degree, but only for major engagements, not for minor ones. So local powers will become stronger. So Malaysia, Indonesia will become stronger. Australia will become stronger. India will become stronger, of course, because there'll be a lack of the United States influence in there. But you still have America doing something. We gotta remember China. China's going to have a problem, and that's just because what I'm seeing is, again, I've been doing some research on this for the last few weeks. Manufacturing is starting to transfer back over to Mexico. It's actually going to America, but it's going to Mexico. And it's going to take a while for that manufacturing to get set up. And actually, that's part of the reason why we're having inflation right now, is that we're having more services being transferred from China over to Mexico. So it's going to take a little while. But after 5 or 6 years, everything's going to be set up properly in Mexico, and we'll be able to produce a lot more there, and we won't be so dependent on China for manufacturing. COVID was damaging to China, and that's why I think we're having more production move over back to the Americas. So as long as that's going on, China isn't really in a good position. They can't, for example, just say like, we're going to stop buying American products. Nah. America would be like, who cares? Less than 2% of American economy is based upon international trade. Yeah, it's really true. So it's kind of a very different economy. So anyway, that's my little part of it. These countries got to do some reform. They will have a cultural value. Yeah, let's just say that. Look, thankfully, a lot of the liberalism will be contained in the West. It will not go out in the world.
I definitely agree, bro. I think if it continues liberalism, America will fail as a state. It's unsustainable, the liberal thinking. No nuclear family, seeping around. It won't last that long. I agree, brother. One last point here before I read the super chats, brother, is crypto. How does crypto fit in this multipolar world? I think obviously I want to get more brothers into crypto, build wealth through crypto. How does it fit here in your analysis, brother?
It's a way of maintaining value. So if I were, for example, if I had Chinese yuan I would be moving that to crypto as fast as I possibly could.
Damn.
So basically, currencies that are unstable should go to crypto. And also, if it sees that there's another market correction because something crazy in the West, then your currency should also go to crypto. So it's just a way to hedge against stupid government planning or government policies allowing the private sector to do stupid stuff. Basically, allowing the private sector to become too indebted. That's again, it's a problem in the West, but in America, not so much with Western Europe, but definitely a problem with the West or with America. But now we're seeing it as a problem with China. So yeah, it's a way to hedge your money. I wouldn't be so big on BRICS, to be honest. I'd be big on crypto. Like it just makes sense. So you don't want the Russian ruble so much, but go put into Bitcoin, because then you can properly use Bitcoin as an intermediary exchange between that and a rupee or a Brazilian dollar, a real, right? And that's the better way of doing it. If you really want to go around, you want to circumvent the United States dollar as a reserve currency, then use crypto. Well, that actually makes sense.
Type in the live stream chat, brothers, what crypto brothers need to be buying right now before the Bitcoin halving. The Bitcoin halving is 6 months away. We need as much brothers to get into crypto. So please write some coins in the live stream chat for brothers to be buying to make it big on crypto. Let's get this paper all together, brothers. Very important, brothers. Okay. Shout out to Mr. Dat Hip for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you both for the support. Much appreciated, bro. Chinese are having contention in Africa because a lot are abandoning their children, calling Africans low IQ, and neo-colonizing in loans. Okay, wow. Okay, that respect needs to be given back to Africans. We can't be allowing that in our ancestral homelands. Come on, African brothers and sisters, please get the ish together, please.
That's just Chinese people thinking they're high on the hog. They should go to Japan. They'll get a different view of life. Because that's how the Japanese will treat them. So I mean,
Ooh.
yeah. I'm just saying, like, learn humility. Yeah, sure, you got some money. Okay, that's cute. You got some money and stuff. Go to Japan. They think you're, a janitor at best. Cook. That's it. You're not a professional. So don't go around other countries thinking that you're something when other countries can trounce you as well.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Mr. The Black Muslim in the building. Thank you, bro, for the $5 super chat and the support. Always appreciate you, bro. I think we passport bros need to move towards marriage. IP channel provides the intel we need to make the choice. We need families to fix these problems. Yes, indeed. Yeah. I'm sure you watched my UAE stream last week. Classic. I watched that this morning.
Yeah,
I loved
that was good. That was a really good stream. I liked it a lot. It was great. I definitely agree with a lot of the points that were on there. And regarding marriage, again, it's marriage and right of owning property together. You got to have those two, and then you can make kids, make a family, actually do it.
Let's get it on. The Bible says, "Go forth and multiply." Shout out to the Black Muslim for the $5 super chat. We need schools, technology, properties. Why are we talking about who we want to be under? We got to talk about next level. Yes, indeed, bro. Yes, indeed. And that's why I'm big on crypto. When we make it all big up crypto, we have the wealth to buy property all around the world, have a network of brothers. I basically want us to move like the Illumi. I'll leave it blank there. Okay? I'll leave it blank there.
Well, I think that, see, the one thing that, again, I've been looking at this for a while, the cloud is not going away. This is actually very important. But AI is going to be a little bit delayed. And that's because of chip manufacturing issues, moving chip manufacturing to Mexico and other areas, also to Vietnam, Malaysia, like that. So this China issue with Taiwan really is irritating because we can't really depend on chips. And China is the world's #1 manufacturer of low value chips. So ultimately, if we want to do AI, we need of course, we need high value chips in order to do that. So there's America's doing that, but America can't do it all. So I think it's going to, as we're wrapping up production in the United States and the NAFTA environment, it's going to delay AI a little bit, and that'll give us time to prepare. And then as passport bros get really good at AI and security, AI and data analysis, AI in other areas that are actually very useful, and then we'll be sitting in a good position, and then working abroad, and we'll be okay.
Yes, indeed, bro. Python used very well within AI. Brothers, I think you are in a great space where we have Theo and myself, right, giving you brothers this golden intel. There's a reason why I'm teaching you brothers Python, okay? There's a reason why I'm doing so. There's a reason why Theo is teaching you brothers AWS. We are setting you brothers up for a very successful future. And I'm also pushing out crypto as well. I ain't playing no games. Like I said, I want us to have a network of brothers, wealthy, communicating, networking, and of course, moving like the Illumi. I keep it blank there. Okay, I'm sure you know what I'm referring to. And when we have some reaction videos, me and Phil are going to react to. Shout out to Mr. Dat Hip for the $5 super chat. Brother IP, you said Iran is formidable, but do you think the death of Mara Amini last year won't have any social cohesion problems in the future? That's a great question there, bro. I think that won't be a problem. I think the way Iran runs its society is with an iron fist. They have, numerous shoulders, numerous agencies in the ground. They've got an army called the Revolutionary Army, and these guys have been able to nearly create a nuke despite being the most sanctioned country on earth, right? So that's resilient to the fact that they're almost near it, or maybe they even have a nuke, and they've done that being the most sanctioned country on earth. That shows dedication. That shows negotiation skills. That shows resiliency. You can't play with Iran. You really can't, bruv. They're a different beast.
That shows that the KGB and Iran really like each other. Yeah, that's Russian influence. That makes sense for the Russians to give the kind of technology to Iran because they want to destabilize the environment, which is good because the United States are with the Saudis. So as a power vacuum, the Russians are with Iran. It makes sense. Yeah, they're doing it. That's something, but yeah, they're still. I mean, they're still there. Yeah, it's all right.
Imagine how powerful they are if they had no sanctions, right? And I tell you, I researched Iran, and I've been doing it quite heavily in the past few weeks. And the way they do things, the way they've done things, it's just, it's mind blowing. All right, so that is the end of the first segment here. Like I told you, there'll be more geopolitics talk coming on this channel. This was amazing, Theo. Great insight there, Theo. So let's react to some incredible content. Okay. The first one I want to react to, me and Theo will be doing so, is a BW in Japan freaking out that Japanese women are choosing on the brothers. She said some crazy stuff, brother. So let me share my screen, yeah? And me and Theo are going to give our insight on this, okay? And then we'll open up the phone lines for a great discussion. So present, share screen. Give me a second. Let me open up my file explorer. Okay. So Theo, let me know if this is a good quality, okay? Chotomatic Sai. Present, share screen, window. Oh, sorry. Oh, sugar. God damn. That was close. Hold on. All right. So hold on, Keisha. Don't talk yet, Keisha. All right. So let me share my screen. All right. So do y'all see this? Okay. Where is it, bruv? Why don't I see that, bruv? Where is it? Hold on. That's a bit weird. Where is it? What's this file called? I don't see it. Give me a second, brothers. Let me cancel this. Share screen again. Damn, yo, Keisha really is doing some sort of crazy stuff here, bruv. How is she even? How's she doing this, man? Okay, I think I found out why. Okay, so can you see my screen, Theo?
Yeah,
Disappointed me
not yet.
since I've been.
Oh, there it is. That's it. Yep.
Can y'all see it?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, so this video is very interesting. And Theo, let me know if it's a bit, if it's bad quality or you can't hear it. But can you see it? It's good.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay, so let's play it. Okay.
Something that has greatly disappointed me since I've been living here is the
Nah, it's moving too slow. What's going on?
Oh, it's good.
something
That's
that
good. Yeah.
Nah, so basically what I will do, you can see it?
Yeah. Fine. Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
something that has greatly disappointed me since I've been living here is the amount of coonery that I've seen in Tokyo. And sorry to say, but it's mainly from black men from America. The way that I have to watch y'all treat me and my fellow black sisters like shit, but treat the Japanese women all delicately like they're special flowers is insane. The amount of times that I've met black men from America who give people the N-word here is crazy. I recently went to a club and this black guy was asking me how my experience is here dating, and I was telling him, and then he was like, well, I'm in heaven here because, you know, they like fetishize us, so they be worshiping us and doing whatever the fuck we want, so I'm in heaven. What? None? Or the black men that'll be talking to me, and then when we get done, they're like, I enjoyed the conversation. You're so cool. I love black women. I worship black women. I wish there was more in Tokyo. And then we'll go over to their Japanese girlfriend and then talk shit about us. When black American men get over here, the coonery be on 10. Y'all need to pipe down because they do not give a fuck about y'all.
Ooh. Okay, let me go here, right? Let me go here real quick, right? This just confirms that wherever passport cis goes, the dudes in that particular country ain't checking for passport cis. They're not checking for them. Even in Japan. Okay. So we have a sister here, a modern woman who is angry that passport bros are getting loved by Japanese women in Japan. Why is that? Why is she struggling with dating and it's very easy for the passport bros to get Japanese women in Japan? I'll tell you why. So let's compare an American Western woman and a Japanese woman. Japanese women are more feminine, more cooperative, submissive. They listen. There is no back talk here. They're caring. So of course he's going to choose the average Japanese woman over a Western woman in Japan. So we have a woman here who's calling passport brothers, racial slurs. Okay, because Japanese women are choosing, and the brothers there are choosing Japanese women over the sisters. It's that simple. Break it down for us, Theo. What's your thoughts, bro?
Ha! I'm gonna be savage. That woman should be appreciative that black men or any Western men even recognizes that she exists. I'm serious. Like, even if they look their way over. So when I was in Japan, by the end of the first year, basically, if a Western woman wasn't at work, then I didn't even acknowledge that she existed, even if she was standing right next to me. She was invisible. I just didn't pay attention to her at all. And she doesn't like it, we don't care because we're being treated so well by the Japanese and other nationalities there. We have no time for someone who talks this way. Well, not even no time to talk with them. We have no time to recognize their existence. So that woman should just be thankful that she gets eye contact from a Western man, period, in Japan.
Damn, that's wild there, Theo. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. If I were in Japan, just straight out, that's what I say. If this woman were in the bus, I would just pretend like she didn't exist. If she were in the train, if she were right in front of me, I'd be looking elsewhere, walk right around her, or walk through her. I would not even care. If she came up to me and said, I need some help, I wouldn't give her anything help. Nothing. No acknowledgement. Zero. And I'm not the only one. I saw this with plenty of Western men. Not only Western men, I saw Chinese men doing the same thing. Japanese, um, Eastern European men, Indians, they were doing the same thing with Western women. Like entirely no recognition that they exist. So she has a problem with that. That's her own thing. We don't care. No, wow, man, we're done.
Facts. Everywhere we go, any other country, any other continent, it's always a modern Western woman, an ABW, right? Specifically hating on passport bros because we get a lot of love. There's a reason why we get a lot of love. We're not arrogant, we're caring, we are respectful to the culture. We're not out here disrespecting, slave monuments like the BWs did so earlier this year in Ghana, twerking on a slave monument in Ghana. So the ABW's image is terrible. Okay. And people all around the world know. But when we come in as brothers, when we bring that respect, when we bring that soul, that sweet, sweet, sweet soul, oh, the women who are foreign love that. There you go, brothers, man. Isn't that right, Theo?
Yeah, exactly. And I just want to say, see how she's looking right there? Do you want that in front of you? I mean, it's straight out. So in the West, you kind of can't get away from it unless, I can, because I can do it by class. So I can get away from people like this. But then they're still there to some degree, right? In Japan, I wouldn't even tolerate that this exists. So, yeah, man. But the way we act, yeah, girls like us. Japanese girls, Korean girls like us. Chinese girls like us. Ukrainian girls, Russian girls like us in Japan. So, because we act nice, we're very, I don't know, smooth in a way, nice, hospitable. Again, you're Black English, right? I mean, the amount of play you guys got in Japan was like formidable. You guys were just hunted down by women. I couldn't believe it. So I mean, we've got what we want. So why should we ever have a problem with it? This woman, guarantee you, like when I was in university, she was dating the drug dealer. She was looking at a guy like me and saying that you're an educated lame, or you're just lame, or nerdy, something like that. That's what she would say to me while I'm sitting there studying Japanese night and day and doing tech and finance and things like that. So I go to Japan, I don't acknowledge that she exists. She doesn't deserve it. No acknowledgement. Then she's like, what's going on? I'm like, hey, the nerds here get played. You are an evil woman. I'm not going to exist. I'm not going to acknowledge that you exist, period. She has a problem with it? I don't care. I got a visa. Go talk to somebody else about it. You got 36 million people in the metropolitan area in Tokyo. I've got no time for you.
Damn. Once again, passport sis, ain't no one checking for you, man. Ain't no one checking for you, passport sis. Stop embarrassing yourself on the internet and take yourself back to America and continue dating Pookie and Ray Ray, okay? And worshipping Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, and all these garbage female rappers. I'll keep it a stack, bruv. I'll keep it a stack. 100, fam. 100, fam. You know? So let me read the super chats, brother, and then we'll go on to the next video to react to. Shout out to Mr. J Remo for the £2 super chat. Installed Ubuntu on WSL K8. Homework done. A pain. Great job, bro. Great job. Great student there, J Remo.
I'm gonna have to go through that. I told that class I'll make videos for them. I'm gonna have to make videos. I have no idea I'm going to do this. So I'm going to be up like all night long making video series for Kubernetes right now. Oh my goodness.
All night long.
I just want to say, see, it's faces like this that will get me up all night long to make video series to educate Black men so that we will never have to have that kind of face in front of us.
Facts, bro. Absolute facts. Shout out to Mr. Big Brother and Life for the $2 super chat. I appreciate you, bro. Greetings, fellas. Enjoy the channel. Salute you, brother, for the support. Thank you very much. Shout out to Mr. I am Just Jules for the $3 super chat, super sticker. Thank you, bro, for the support. Much appreciated. Shout out to the Reptilian representative. Okay, ooh. Awesome, good name, bro. For the $5 super chat. Respect to IP. Crypto trading is okay, but if you want massive wealth, then mine crypto and integrate my technology for unlimited off-grid electricity. Awesome, bro. Reach out to me on IG. Love to hear more about that to share with the brothers, man. If we appreciate you, bro. And shout out to Mr. Passport Bros Finest for the $5 super chat. Thank you, Passport Bros Finest, for the support. Much appreciated, brother. So on to the next video to react to. Okay, and this is going to be a very funny one that I found. All right, so let me stop sharing here. Goodbye, Keisha, and I hope you continue seeing Passport Bros in Japan doing very well with Japanese women. Awesome. So now let's get
happy passport bros in Japan doing exceptionally well and dating other nationalities and smiling. That's how they are. They're smiling. Yeah.
No mean mugging, none of that stuff. Smiling, being happy, being joyful,
and
being free.
The women are smiling too, and they're together eating great food, and they're having good conversation. Not combative, no narcissism. It's a pretty good functional environment.
Yes, indeed. We have over 160 people watching live. Can we get the likes up, please? And let's get some super chats and PayPal donations flowing. This has been another incredible live stream. So please support what I do. It is 3 a.m. in the UK over here. 3 a.m. in the UK, doing this great work for you, brothers. So please support me, man. That'd be greatly appreciated. It's not easy. All right, let me share my screen here. Let me share screen, and then, okay, we got one over here. So I'm gonna share my screen, brother. Share. Can you see my screen, bro?
It's coming up. There it is. It's good.
Okay. Let's get it cracking, brother.
Okay.
Here are my thoughts on Red Pill podcasts. You know, like those guys that like sit around and be like, oh, I could cheat on my wife because I'm a high value man. I personally do not believe that real high value men are sitting on this podcast. Real high value men are not publicly announcing that they believe that they can cheat on someone. Another point that they make is that these men should be going to the gym and taking care of themselves because it's discipline. You have to work hard. It's a discipline. So how come they prioritize discipline in all aspects of their life except for their marriage, except for their love life? Because loyalty at the end of the day is a discipline. So are you just so weak-minded that you just give in to the first sign of temptation you can? Because if you can't be loyal to your spouse, it's clear that you lack discipline. You don't know how to say no. You don't know how to for real values. Oh, it's just a part of my body. Man, it may be, but I think we've evolved past that, don't you? Here are my thoughts.
What's your thoughts on that, Theo? I think she's talking nonsense there, but I want you to go first, brother.
Even Kevin Samuel stated that if you're going to do, if a high value man's going to do something, it has to be on the down low, and has to be in such a way that it's not destructive to him and his group. And in the group of high value men, we all understand one slip up, but if you do 2 slip ups, normally the network will boot you out. I agree with that. And then for myself, because I fit Kevin Samuel's definition of a high value man, I only want one. I have other things that I'm doing. I'm pretty disciplined. You guys know me. I'm rather disciplined. So I don't have a desire to have more than one woman. I mean, one woman is enough, what can I say, sacrifice of resources. So I don't need a second one. I think like one is just fine. I hear other guys talking about having various women and things like that. And I'm just like, why don't you make like $200,000 a year, 5 years straight, and then reevaluate and then go back to what you want with women and think about it. Because I'm sure you'll have a different point of view at that point. You're doing so well financially. You're like, I don't want to mess this up. The woman becomes lesser value, to be honest. So she has to like work to get in that position. So it's rare to even have one woman to go to get in that position. If you want 2 or 3, I'm like, are you really sure about that? So some guys do get a little side action on the down low, at even being married men, which I know in my high value man network, I know men who do that from time to time. It's on the down low. Nobody knows about it. It's washed under the bridge. Nobody knows. Um, so yeah, that's really my opinion. Not something I do.
Thing is, Theo, right? Here's where she's wrong. Here's where she's very wrong, right? A man having, two girlfriends, two wives, five wives, doesn't mean he lacks discipline. Okay. He is entitled to have more than one woman in his life if he's a Muslim, or he feels like I have enough resources, I earn a lot of money, I want multiple women, I can look after all of them, I can afford it. That doesn't mean he lacks discipline, because a man can, work his job, a man can go to the gym every day, a man can have discipline again, his IT certs, a man can have discipline, in working out every day. To me, that's discipline. Discipline, in my opinion, brother, is all about consistency and execution. If you are consistent in doing something, a particular task or topic, that means you have discipline. Having multiple women, right, in your life doesn't mean you lack discipline. Again, the woman needs here, the woman logic here is completely nonsense, in my opinion, bro. She's completely wrong, bro. Discipline
Yeah.
is all about sticking to one thing and being consistent. I'm disciplined in studying every day to get those IT certs. Discipline has nothing to do with dealing with multiple women, bro.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I just I again with the process I don't know, maybe it's just a personal preference. That's all I can say. I mean, I would rather just be with one woman who just totally has the hots for me and bang her brains out. That would just I don't need another one. But I mean, you do have to, if you're gonna spin plates, which I've spun plates before, then yeah, you do have to have discipline for that. That's true, because you have to have your mindset in a certain way. Yeah, you can kind of see that.
And also, bro, right? She's saying that, oh, men do it because they say it's part of our biology. It is part of our biology. It's been in the Bible, in the Quran, in many religious texts. Men have had multiple women because as men, we have that conquest mentality. There's a reason why Genghis Khan exists, right? He impregnated a lot of women because he had that conquest mentality, that biology, okay, to spread his seed worldwide. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know. Do you agree or disagree, brother?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that happened. Yeah, that's true. We got Solomon in the Bible as well. Just couldn't stop tapping that booty. So he had 700, right? So yeah, it's true. It's men having multiple is there. Um, I don't know. You can kind of think I'm a simpleton at this point. I'm just like, nah. For me personally, one's good enough. I like what Solomon said in Ecclesiastes. He said basically life is difficult, and the most satisfaction you can have in life is just being happy with your family and with your work. That's it. That's the end all. And I was like, yep, it's pretty much true. So for me, I would just limit it to one woman. I could see other
Okay.
guys doing more than that, but for me personally, man, just one. That's all I need.
Okay, fair enough, bro. Fair enough. Let's react to the next video, brother. So we're gonna react to a half Colombian, half Japanese woman, a rare
Oh,
Pokemon. I'm like, what's
it's gonna
going
be
on here?
good.
Speaking Espanol, speaking Spanish, bro. I'm like, what's going on here, bruv? Let me share my screen. Share screen. Share screen. And let's go into here. Okay. Share. All right. So here you can see this is a half Japanese, half Colombian woman. And this is how she sounds like, and this is how she looks like.
Ooh,
Oh, sugar. Flipping heck.
sugar.
en Colombia y a los 20 me vine a ir a Japón.
¿Has tenido problemas de identidad?
Creo que desde chiquita me acostumbré a aceptar que no puedo sentirme completamente colombiana y tampoco me puedo sentir completamente japonesa. Es como, estoy en Colombia y es como, asiática, japonesa. Y es como, sí. Y acá es como, hafu. Es como, ok, yo estoy en la mitad ahí. De verdad, mis papás me enseñaron mucho a valorar ambas culturas y a amar Colombia, amar Japón. Entonces, sí, no puedo decir como, yo soy completamente de este país. Entonces, es como que me siento ahí en medio de los dos. He aprendido a amar eso, como a sentirme orgullosa de esas dos culturas tan diferentes. はじめまして、かおりです。お父さんが日本人で、お母さんがコロンビア人です。コロンビア生まれ、コロンビア育ちで、今は東京に住んでいます。よろしくお願いします。Hola, mi nombre
Bruv, what is this? Hold on, Theo, right? What am I seeing right here? Is this real? Am I really seeing in front of my eyes right now a half Colombian, half Japanese chica? What's going on in this world, brother? What's going on, brother? I'm speechless right now, bro.
I saw half Japanese, half Persian women in Japan.
What?
And yeah, when I saw that, I was like, maybe we need to reevaluate this whole invasion of Iran thing. Because they were hot. They were beautiful. They were so hot. Japan has like half of everything, especially Tokyo. They're all over the place. So yeah, this is normal. I actually understood Spanish, which was good props to me. Her Japanese was perfect. Yeah, that was native. Of course, I was purely native Japanese. And she's talking about how where she was born, how she feels being one way versus another. And she's like, sometimes she feels Colombian and Japanese. She has both sides, and she's going back and forth basically between the two. And right now, she was born in Colombia, and right now she's living in Tokyo. Cute. I have no problem with a woman like this. Yeah.
Brother, like, imagine, right? I'm looking at her right now, right? She has the mannerisms of a Japanese woman, but she has that saucy, sexy Colombian accent, but there's like a Japanese woman too. That's the best of both worlds there, brother. I think I'd be, would IP be simping for her every day? I don't simp, but I might reconsider that, brother. This is incredible, bro.
Yeah, something would be drained daily, that's for sure. So, see, this is what I always said when I was in university. I said, if you only have one woman, make sure she's like exotic, because you will never get tired of her. And something like a woman like that is totally exotic. Not a fetish, but it's exotic. And it's you have multiple cultures, you got multiple looks on her. When I was in Brazil, I was dating Brazilian Japanese. Same thing. So I was using Japanese all the time with her, some Portuguese, but a lot of Japanese with her. And totally exotic. Had a great time talking with her. So if you go to Tokyo, you can find these types around, and I know where you can find them at. They're in kind of certain areas. But they're wonderful to date. And then you got great places to go for food and talk. I'm pretty sure I know where she's at right now. She's really in the central part of Tokyo. I think she's very close to the Swedish embassy. And it's a really good place. Like, I'm pretty sure it's like close to Akasaka Mitsuke. I think so. I'm pretty sure. So nice area. She's doing well. Example of a fun person. I'm telling you, man, if you go to Japan for 2 or 3 years, you will meet these types all the time.
Theo, do you think you should be checking for an English brother like myself and an American brother like yourself, brother? Or is it out of our scope, brother? You sure?
Yeah, but it's everyone. See, the thing is, everybody's checking for her.
Oh,
that's the issue. Literally, everyone's checking for her. Everyone is hunting her down. So Japanese men are hunting her down themselves. They have no problems dating her. They're like, go for it. Yeah. So there's a lot of competition for that chick.
Oh man, amazing, bruv. Wow. Let me read your super chats, bro. We got 2 or 3 more to react to, bro.
Okay.
Shout out to Mr. Real Black for the $777 super chat. Appreciate you, brother. Love the channel and knowledge you share. Thank you, bro, for the support. Salute to you, Royal Black. Thank you, brother. Shout out to Mr. Tevin King for the $5 super chat. Keep up the great work, IP and Uncle Theo, or Theo.
Teo's fine. Internationally, my name is usually Theo or Theo.
Theo.
So, yeah, Theo. I don't mind.
Awesome, bro. Shout out to Mr. The Black Muslim again for the third super chat tonight. Thank you, brother, for the $5 super chat. The employee making rules on how we should run our business. Party brothers, my shit, my show. Yes, indeed.
All right, Black Muslim. I respect that.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. Shout out to Mr. Tevin King for the $10 super chat. IP and Uncle Theo. Are you guys Python tech course still open? I've been telling my friends to sign up weeks ago, but they are too comfortable in the matrix. Sorry, bro. My Python course is officially closed. It will open next year. What about your course, Theo?
Yeah, mine is closed. I got people trying to come in, so I'm not going on streams anymore because then they'll promote it, and then I have to like open it for a while. But we're in week 5. We're doing 2 clouds right now. I can't have somebody come in. We already have enough people trying to come in right now, so it's just a hassle. So yeah, it's not good. We can't accept anybody more.
There was one person I wanted to speak to you about, but closed completely, brother. Closed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's closed,
Okay.
man. There's just no way. I mean, it's just too hard. They're not gonna get it. They'd have to do some serious work. I got one guy. I mean, you know, Chocolatey and Homebrew, right?
Yes.
Like, I got one guy thinking Chocolatey and Homebrew makes a homepage, and I'm looking at him like, you know, I don't have time for this. Like, you're already late coming in, and you think this is like, now the documentation thinks it's a homepage. What are you talking about? We're just like, who are you? So I don't have time. I just don't. No, man, just no. The distance is just too great. You can't do it.
Very true. Very true. All right. So we're down to shout out to Mr. JG for the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate you, bro. 12 tribes of Israel came from Jacob and 4 women. Polygamy is our culture's way as Black people. And if you have the resources, you should support more than one. I agree with that, brother. That's fair. That's fair. Shout out to Mr. Balal Jalal for the $10 super chat. Any thoughts on the current IT market? I spent some time on LinkedIn and people are complaining about lack of jobs and how they can't even get an interview. Also, many companies have conducted layoffs. What's your thoughts on that, Theo?
Okay, so right now is a period of uncertainty. And there's many factors because of this. And so typically there's less hiring during uncertainty. Although if you look at the US job report, it was double the amount of hiring that they actually expected. But I'm feeling this also in IT. I'm noticing this as well. So the only thing you can do during this time is make yourself more attractive. So you increase your skill set and you advertise it, and you want the companies to come to you. And if you do have the skill set they want, they will hire you. They won't stop them. So the money is there. It's just that they're uncertain right now. That's the issue.
Yes, indeed. Thank you for that insight there. Thank you, bro. So on to more reactions. You're going to love this one next. Okay, so we have a younger woman telling off a older modern woman, right, for being a 3 or 4 and not getting married. Very interesting discussion here, Theo. Want to hear your thoughts about it.
Okay.
Share screen, and here it is. Let's get it cracking, brother. Let's get it cracking. Okay, so you can see my screen. Let's press play. I'll mute that. Let's press play.
It wouldn't be an argument.
Why wouldn't it be an argument?
Because I don't argue with him. He's my man.
Why would you argue though?
Because it's a problem.
It's a problem if you create a problem.
That he created the
Back
problem.
to what you were saying on why I wouldn't argue. I want my husband to be completely honest with me. And so in order to ensure that I get his honesty, I can't punish the truth. I can't give him a reason to feel like he has to lie to me. So if he feels that by telling me the truth, he's going to get shot down, he's going to get yelled at, he's going to get emasculated, belittled, he's not going to tell me. Whereas if I can stay rational and we can sit and have a conversation, I can get the complete truth out of him. I can ask him, do you still love me? And know for sure that he's going to be honest with me, because I'm not going to punish the truth. So that's a big reason why I don't argue with him. And then the other reason is I just find it disrespectful. We'd have a conversation. It wouldn't be an argument.
I can't believe that's real, brother. Can you believe a modern woman, right, a Becky at that, 19, married, speaking like that, bro? Is that a change in the shift in Western ideologies, or is she, brother, an outlier? You know, an alien amongst human beings that's different. Break it down for us, brother. And what's your thoughts about?
She is. You can say she's a part of counterculture with that generation, with that group, and we're starting to see this a little bit more online, with some women talking this way and being honest about the situation because they do want marriages. And what the 304 is, she's a family destroyer, and she is using marriage as a means to transfer wealth to a woman. That's very typically used. That's why we don't date them. We don't acknowledge that they exist. However, this woman is 19-year-old. She actually wants to be a part of a family, give birth, serve her husband, be of value, and be somebody that people cherish throughout time. No one's going to cherish that 304. No one's going to remember her. No one at all. She's going to be a detriment and a nuisance until the day she dies. So it's two choices. I am seeing more women, younger women, talking like this. This is a good news.
Absolutely, brother. Right. I think we have reached a very low point in society where a 19-year-old woman has to school a 30-year-old woman. Normally, it should be the other way round. That's how terrible, you know, the previous generation of women are, or the current generation of women are, to the point where you're 30 and a 19-year-old woman who's barely out of university is schooling you about being cooperative, not arguing with your man, being respectful. How did we reach this point, brother? I mean, that's just
Feminism.
weird, brother.
Feminism. You do have this. Okay, so you have this female women, feminists in particular, militarizing or arming marriage against men, and this is now backfired because men. You know, the only way you can get out of this is for men not to get married, and then men not to be in relationships, and this is going to be a huge movement. So we're going to see at least 20 years worth of women, if not 35 years worth of women, who are going to be dying alone in mass. And, you know, other women, the younger ones, are looking at the situation and saying, hey, I don't want this. I see what's going on. I see what happened to parents and grandparents. I don't want it. And so some of them are actually choosing something different. I've seen it with some other women as well. I would say, like, not Gen X. Gen X women are going to go to the grave with their decision. It's like, okay. But other ones, Gen Z, millennials, some of them are small changes. But the younger there are, then I'm seeing more of them understanding. And it just, we're not talking like 50% more. No, we're talking like say, like it used to be 90% feminist, and now it's like more like 85% feminist, right? So it's a little increase. It's gonna take some time.
Facts, bro. Notice how that was a Keisha, you know, that was getting checked, and a Becky, you know, that was checking her. Unfortunately, a lot of Keishas are too stubborn. You know, they have literally drank the feminist Kool-Aid, and they ain't turning back. They feel like it's giving them freedom. They can do what they want. But that's not how life is. Life is all about structure, family, making children, you know, living a very cooperative and functional life. And ABW, unfortunately, Keishas in the West have turned their back against traditional values, and they're going to suffer for it, unfortunately.
They're not going to admit it. I mean, I'm actually, it's like I've been on other channels before, and I've said, as I get older, I sit back and I'm enjoying watching them suffer. This is very true. I do enjoy watching them suffer over time, and they do have a problem. And, like, you know, it's good. I like it. I like you being unable to talk about children or family structure, talk about graduation. You can't talk about your family reunion because you don't have any. Yeah, you made that decision, and now you get the repercussions of it. And you thought this was slavery. Okay, how's loneliness for 40 years? Let's see how that goes. So, they get what they deserve. This is one time which I actually will use the verb to deserve, because they worked for it and they earned it. So they're actually getting what they deserve in this case.
Facts, bro. All right, 2 more to react to. Let me share my screen here. Present, share screen, and share screen here. And of course, we got another bunch of delusional Western women talking jazz. Okay, so let me share my screen here. Okay, so let's go.
Men?
No.
Do we need men?
No.
Do we need men?
Honestly, no.
Do we need men?
No.
Why?
Because they suck.
Do we need men?
No.
Do we need men?
Honestly, no.
Do we need men?
No.
Why?
Because they suck.
Do you know what, right? Notice how they all have English accents, right? And I keep telling my American brothers, what's happening in the US is also happening here in the UK. Okay? Women are being taught that men aren't needed, men are trash, men don't build. But you can see in this video here, right? Men have literally built the whole world. The Instagram she uses, the Twitter she uses, the shoes she wears, the construction, the firemen, the pilots, right? The farmers is majority men. So men are the reason why the economy is functioning very well in the West. Once again, show me the female Elon Musk. Show me the female Mark Zuckerberg. They just can't do it, right? Because men are just, needed in this world for what we do and what we provide and our building and engineering skills. So when they say they don't need men, no, with a huge smile on their faces, they are purely and clearly delusional. What's your thoughts, Theo?
They grew up in an environment where everything was provided, and it was usually provided by men, and they didn't understand it. And now you have this kind of delusion. So this looks like it's in the UK. So you have, I want to say, do you also think you don't need the EU? Because they were your number one trading bloc. So you did Brexit. Okay, so you don't need men, you don't need the EU. Okay. So how are you going to get your products? Where? How's this going to work? Because if men stop doing stuff and you stop trading with the EU, where's your food? Your main, you're producing some things locally. How are you going to get the rest of it? What is it? How are you going to do that? How's this looking? And they don't have any clue. So I'm just like, okay, they can enjoy the fruit of that labor. That's fine.
Yep. And it's global. The Western feminist programming complex is global. And I keep telling you, brothers, in the West, we all have to help each other out, support each other, network with each other, because the women in the West have vitriol towards men. Show me a man in the West that says we don't need women. That's a ridiculous thing to say. We need women. The same way women need men. We need to procreate. We need women to look after the kids, keep it a stack, and that's how it should be.
Well, to say that men aren't needed, this is why I laugh at it, because men know they need other men. Men are pack animals by nature. All male mammals are pack animals. I'm pretty sure about that. It's the nature of the group. Male lizards, they're individual, but not so. There's more individualistic. But male mammals tend to be in packs. So if she says that she doesn't need it, I'm looking at her. I'm like, are you a mammal? Are you sure about that? Are you a lizard? Like, are you sure you're what animal kingdom you're a part of? Like, can we talk about that for a while? So, yeah, I want to see if she thinks she needs women. Because if she thinks she's really independent like that, I'm like, nah, man, it's not the way it works. Oh well.
You're in for really harsh reality with like, you know, women who can do what men do. I tell these chicks that.
Well, it goes in later on. You get to see this really big change. So, I mean, who was that? Jordan Peterson talked about this about interests, and I know women in their 40s that are talking about how great their career is going to be, and they become totally family oriented, and that's the only thing they want to do. And I'm looking at them like, you understand that you're not working hard enough to put enough money into your 401k and save up for retirement and actually support your family. You can't do all three. And they don't even care. It's only about family. And so I'm like, okay, what are you going to do when you become older? Like, what are you really doing? They're not thinking about that. And so there's no argument with them. I just say like, hey, look, you make that decision. You do you. You're strong and independent. And given that, as I get older, I'm not going to support you. I'm not going to help you out at all. I'll listen to you a little bit, but I'm not going to help you out like I did before. And how many women do I know like that who are in their 60s and 70s who are suffering financially? And this is just going to increase because these women are, they were strong, independent types, feminists, and now they have nobody. So, oh well, keep on going. It's fine, honey. I'm sure you're okay. Go work at McDonald's. You'll be fine.
Theo with the great breakdown there. So last video to react to before we open up the phone lines and have a great discussion. Okay, so let's get it cracking. Let's get it cracking, brothers. Share screen, and share screen. Another low intelligent modern woman talking nonsense. Okay, you're gonna love this, Theo. You're gonna love this. All right, let's go.
My name is Sophia. I'm 23. I'm an artist that's currently doing OnlyFans. My name is Sophia. I'm 23. I'm an artist that's currently doing OnlyFans, but a future entrepreneur.
Can you spell entrepreneur?
E. I'm just E.
Oh, right, fantastic. E. Wait, no, E-N. Oh, she said
E-N-R.
E-N-R.
Yeah, wrong.
P.
What?
Something like that.
Entrepreneur. I guess you're an entrepreneur. Okay, what's your highest education level completed?
High school and a bunch of courses.
A bunch. Okay, I'll put high school.
About.
Single, relationship, sugar daddy, married.
I know.
What are you?
I'm the sugar daddy.
You're the sugar daddy.
I'm currently in a relationship. Currently, I make money off of him.
So he's the sugar daddy.
No.
Do you know what that word means?
No.
Okay.
I'm managing his OnlyFans.
He's your
And
boyfriend.
I manage all the money.
Okay, how long y'all been together?
2 weeks. Maybe a week. My name is Sophia. I'm an artist that's.
Oh my goodness, bruv. Oh, the West is finished. The West is completely finished, man. Where do I even begin? Number one, right? Can't spell an entrepreneur, right? Number two, proudly states that she's an OF creator with a huge smile on her face. Okay. And number three is an absolute bimbo and is proud to be a bimbo. We have reached a point in the West where stupidity is, it's seen as cool, it's seen as trendy amongst modern women. You will not see that with foreign women. They take pride in being sophisticated, classy, feminine, and we don't see this anymore in modern women. What's your thoughts about this clip there, Theo? This is embarrassing for even feminists themselves. Break it down, bro.
No, they would support this. I would still say it's empowering. I have no idea why. Because, I know, this is her basic economic plan is I have boobies. That's it. That's it. This is close. And I have a pretty face. That's it. Well, she got a C or D cup there or something like that. That's what it looks like. Maybe she's using some sort of support in the bra. But that's about all. And she doesn't understand what the future is coming. A lot of women are like this. They don't understand that 35 is happening, 40 is coming. So you just kind of sit back. Brittany Renner is a good example of this. You kind of sit back and say, just wait, and what ultimately happens is that she puts in a few decades of serving men, making them happy, and in the end, she doesn't even get a participation award. That's it. So the West has too many of these women. It is an issue, but that's why passport bros exist, and we can go abroad and actually find women who are by far better than this. I wouldn't even. I mean, this kind of my goodness, just right around her. Just get away. This is the actual nightmare. This is like the worst case scenario. like really, just because I have a nice rack and they're perfectly round. Yeah, I have this kind of super value. I'm like, no, honey, just wait a few years. There's another woman coming up right behind you who has the same kind of bimbo mentality, and you guys all go to the same destination. So, don't see ya. I'm glad I'm not going there.
Facts, bro. I think I want to make this point here, right? For some reason, right? Right? A lot of Western women feel like they have an invincible complex. And what do I mean by that? Is that they will be young forever, they will be beautiful forever, they will have no lines or wrinkles in their face forever. They will simply be, 23, 24 forever. Okay. And when the wall hits, when they're 30, when they're 31, they're going to find out life ain't going to be so easy on them. The next 22-year-old, the next 23-year-old is going to take their place in society. Like we see in Hollywood, like we see in the music industry. There are some things where, even though we live in a very liberal Western world, no one can deny that the younger you look, okay, the 22-year-olds, the 24-year-olds will always be more good looking than the 34 and 35-year-olds. But for some reason, bro, modern women have an invincible complex. I'm going to be beautiful forever. I'm going to be on top forever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And they're going to find out the hard way, bro. That ain't the case. What's your thoughts about that, bro?
No, that's entirely correct. And they have no concept of time and their biology. And then this feminism is coming out and supporting this delusional idea that they can keep on going. It's at least Ebony Williams is coming out and talking about the issue. And she's saying exactly what Kevin Samuel stated, which is very good. They need to wake up. I didn't know how bad the situation was. So, I'll talk a little bit about myself real quick. I'm never on Instagram. And the only reason I got on Instagram was because I needed to talk to IP. So I'm never there. I don't you know my Instagram. I've got nothing on there. And I usually sometimes, if I'm bored, I sit there and look at NBA reels or like wildlife reels, something like that, because it's interesting. And what I noticed recently, I actually discovered this new thing to me called the Instagram model. And I started seeing these women appear on my, I don't know, the feed. And I was looking, I was like, oh, now I understand what the problem is. These women are getting too much attention. Like, you get an Instagram model. I'm like, you're just a normal, like here in Austin. You're just a normal woman here in Austin who has a certain kind of look. And if she goes on Instagram, she gets 20, 30, 40,000 likes and it puffs up her head. I didn't understand how bad of a problem this was. And I saw this and I was like, this is stupid. Like, why would you ever do this? This doesn't make sense. This isn't life. But I can see these women getting puffed up. And then I was looking at other ones and I was like, oh yeah, clearly you do this professionally. Like you actually spend some time doing this all the time. I would never do this. You know, be on Facebook. I take a few pictures, dogs and gym equipment. That's about it. I never show my face. I don't care. I just don't. I'm thinking about some other concept. A lot of men are like that, especially Gen X. We're doing other things. We don't care about this. And so, you got these women having this kind of idea. They can get a certain amount of dopamine from these likes instantly on Instagram from strangers. It has no value at all. And they keep on going this way. They're going to be like what I always say, like Ukrainian, Russian models. Ukrainian Russian models rarely get married. I talked to him, I don't know how many times, and I said, you're totally gorgeous. And what happens is that they don't choose one man. They can't choose a man. They don't have the ability, and they just get passed around. That's it. So I remember asking this one, she's drop dead gorgeous. She's about 40 years old, though. And I said, how did you like your life being I can't say exactly what I said on your stream. How did you like being a personal play toy to a multitude of men during your life? Yeah. She was yelling at me. She was yelling at me. Oh, she was so angry. And I said, that's all you are. And I was like, even me right now, I don't look as good as you. I would never go out with you even if you gave me the chance, because you're just damaged goods. And I was like, and the other guys were the same way. So I mean, if I won't, like, what level of man are you really going for? Like, who's going to be there for you? Who's going to give you that kind of lifestyle that you're used to while you were getting rammed? All right? No, it's not there. Remember, he's getting the next girl. Like you said, the next girl who's coming up 23, 24 years old. They don't get it. They don't understand it. The focus is family. You got that beauty to make a family, not to get attention. If women are confusing this right now, and so you're going to get a lot of like prime DNA specimen of women who will not reproduce. Makes no sense. Honestly, it's just a loss. Lost crops.
Facts, bro. Facts. So let me read the super chats here before I open up the phone lines. We'll go for another 15 to half an hour. Is that okay with you, brother?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. Shout out to Mr. Balau. No, I already read your super chat. Shout out to Mr. Big Brother in Life for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you, brother. Theo, when is your next registration date for cloud classes? Is it 2024?
September 2024. It'll be with the Black Manosphere Conclave in Houston.
Oh, Houston, Texas. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm here in Austin. I'm only 3 hours away, so I can just drive there. Be nice.
Awesome, bro. Thank you for that info there. Much appreciation, Theo. Shout out to Mr. Babatunde Oloyi for the $7.99 Australian dollars. We've got a brother in Australia out here. Shout out to you, bro. Appreciate you, brother, for the support. As always, shout out to you, brother. Hope you're well. IP, your UAE stream is one of the best, if not the best stream on your channel, bro. Was it that good? Oh, wow.
It was good. It was a good stream. I was ninja watching it in the background. I wasn't writing anything, but it was pretty good.
Thank you very much. Very insightful indeed. Dubai on my mind. Just 3 hours from Addis, Ethiopia. That's awesome, bro. That's awesome. Thank you, brother, for the support. Much appreciated. Okie dokie. So let's get the phone lines open. Okay. So feel free to call about, your current thoughts on this particular situation. Let's have a great discussion and let's get cracking. Okay. Let's go. So I'm gonna share my screen right now. Okay. And make sure you join the Patreon to hear explicit behind the scenes details and intel on Foreign Woman. Okay. And get on the platinum tier or the IP lightning tier to get on the IT mentorship plan. Okay. Let's get cracking, brother. So call in. No swearing, no N-word use, no profanity, no explicit talk. Keep it very PG, please. Okay. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much. Awesome. Great stream, Theo. Fantastic, man.
Yeah, there's some good topics on here. It's an interesting time. I just think that from a geopolitical point of view, we're gonna have turbulence for the next 5 years. Yeah, this is all from COVID. So this is going to be the real structural changes that are going to be happening because of COVID. So China is going to be the loser on this one, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, may Africa be the winner. And brothers, there'll be a lot more geopolitics talk. And as I said, crypto talk, geopolitics, RP talk, passport bro talk. We're going to give you brothers great value for you to enjoy and ride up in the sunset with a beautiful half Colombian, half Japanese chica. Okay, so
I think, honestly speaking, I think South America is going to be the winner. And bear in mind while you're waiting for people to come in, the reason is because they're going to get talented people in the form of passport bros. But they're not going to increase their national debt, and they're not going to increase their militaries. Because of that, they have no natural enemies. So because of it, they're sitting pretty. All they think they have to do is do a few more reforms, build up their institutions, build up their infrastructure. They're fine. It's a good time to be in South America.
Having no military, brother, would you say is a bad decision? Let's say a country suddenly wants to invade you and protect yourself.
They're build up their military. So they're going to keep their military forces at the same level. They're not going to be like, oh, okay, so we're making this much more money, so we're going to double the military budget. No. So it's good that they're keeping their military spending flat, relatively speaking. So you get a lot more passport bros coming in. Got a lot of these other guys coming in with money. If they put that money towards infrastructure and not military, and they don't fight a war, and then they don't have any bank debt or national debt also, that's good. That's good for economics. Yeah.
That's real good. That's real good.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, we're happy about that. So that means actual value. Yeah, good. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Hopefully nothing pops off in South America and they go crying to USA for help because they didn't build up their military.
Who's gonna attack them? I mean, usually they solve most of their problems with football anyway, right? Okay, so Brazil and Argentina don't like each other. Like, hey, let's go to a football match. Okay, so they get like two crowds going crazy and saying stuff. That's about all they do. They go out together afterwards, just drink, dance, get drunk, make some children. That's about all that happens. I'm fine, man. That's a good thing with me. It's nothing, no problem with that.
Awesome, bro. Let me bring in the Black Muslim in the background. Thank you, brother. Camera on. Is that okay? Give me a thumbs up. Camera off. Okay, awesome, brother. Let me bring in the Black Muslim. Okay, let's get it cracking. What's going on, bro? How you doing?
Man, I love the stream tonight. I gotta watch this UAE one everybody keeps talking about. I'll be so busy, man. But that's geopolitics, man. This is my my cup of tea right here, bro. Like, man, I want to talk about all these subjects, but
sure.
No, the only first thing I was gonna say is like I was thinking about the whole Russia thing. I know we don't need to invade it. No one wants to invade Russia for its like natural resources, but I think they wanted Ukraine. Remember, there was all this issues with the farmers and whatnot, and then they were shutting the farmers down, and then they had the so then they went to Ukraine. So they already have a $400 billion plan to rebuild Ukraine. I think they're going to build it as the global, the world's thing. Because when Russia allowed the grain to go through, like countries in Africa were eating.
Yep.
So
the big thing with Ukraine is that it has people, and Ukrainians multiply more than Russians do. And so ethnic Russians right now are constituting only 1/3 of Siberia. So this is an issue because all it takes is a little bit more, and those local ethnicities will be like, we're done with you. We're not a part of you. We're not white Slav. And they're going to be gone. So one of the reasons why they wanted Ukraine was to get these Ukrainians, because Ukrainians got 40 million white Slavs who, like, Ukrainian women are a bit better at making babies, right? And look at what they took from Mariupol. They took children. They got big children kidnapping and sent those kids where? Siberia. Increase their numbers in Siberia. This makes total sense on them. So they're not going to do this because they're not going to win because it's just impossible the way it is. Also, Donetsk and the Black Sea. No, not the Black Sea. The Black Sea. It has oil and gas. Actually, there's enough oil and gas in Donetsk area and the Black Sea for Ukraine, under Ukraine's jurisdiction, that they can supply, Western Europe with all their oil and gas needs. I think it's for 160 years at current consumption, something like that.
I was going to say also the other issue was the gas line that Russia had going to Germany. Like they blew up that pipeline, and since they blew it up, I think so many German companies have went bankrupt.
Right. Yeah.
And
Germany's going to have a problem. They need to figure this one out.
Well, that's the whole thing, right? Like the oil is so necessary to Germany, right? Germany, I think, in my opinion, Germany is Europe's lifeline, right? Heartbeat, right?
Yeah.
Germany manufactures, it brings in the money. This is what EU runs on, really. And without Germany and all these companies, and Germany, to me, all this man is industrialization. So without those companies able to run with the oil, it's an issue, which is why the whole Niger thing was such a big deal and why France actually ended up leaving, because United States needed to get that pipeline coming from Nigeria through Niger up to Algeria into EU. They don't want to use Russian gas no more. They're trying to cut that out of the deal.
Yeah, I can. That's part of it. So we're talking about Germany real quick. It's actually the natural gas they need from Russia. And there's a lot of industries that were geared towards using natural gas. And so I back when I saw the Greens doing this in Germany back in the day, I was like, you guys are idiots. You should do atomic power. Well, they were like, hey, we could just use Russian gas. That's it. So the Russians were like, hey, that's cool. We got a lot of money from Germany, and now we got them in our back pocket, so we can go and invade Ukraine. What are they going to do? So it put Germany in a bad position. And you see how they're hesitant to actually give real materials to Ukraine because of this gas thing. So they're going to have to they're actually switching to coal, which is not good. And sure, they like to get natural gas up from Africa, but ultimately they're going to need to go to nuclear power. And the Greens don't like that reality. And, so what are they going to do? This is why I say it's going to be like 4 or 5 years at least, where the Germans are going to really increase their pollution because of their policies that they had in the past.
Okay. Let me bring a new caller in, Black Muslim, hold that thought there. Jonathan Anderson, can you turn your camera on in the background, please? So I know you are a brother and you're not a troll. Jonathan, can you do that for us right there? That's confirmed. Thank you, Jonathan. Turn your camera off, please. Camera off. Okay. Let me bring in Mr. Jonathan Anderson in the background. What's going on, Jonathan?
What's up, bro? How you doing, IP?
I'm doing fantastic, bro. How are you? You good?
Yeah, man. I was actually the brother last week that made the little comment about the whole you saying a brother too much. I made no harm at all, man.
It's no problem, bro.
Let you know.
It's no problem. It's all good. Bro.
Yeah. I mean, I agree a lot. You know what I mean? On any aspect you guys bring up. The question I did have was, if I did move out of the country, my thing is I would like to own something like a business, a home, right? My thing is, okay, do I actually have to be married to actually own a home? So my destination is like Brazil, Colombia, DR, Philippines. I mean, obviously, that's like the dream goal of pretty much any passport, bro. What is your take on that, bro?
Philippines, no. Brazil, you can.
Yeah, I was gonna say every country has its own like residency criteria. So like, let's say I'm going to Morocco, marrying a woman will give you residency. Also, starting a business. A lot of countries, even America, if you start a business and you employ people, and they all have their different numbers. But if you employ people, you start a business, you can get residency. Some countries allow you to join the military and do it. So it's a bunch of different ways to do it. You got to look up the country that you have interest in. This is why IP's channel is such a jewel, because you can sit back and do a ton of research on what country you want, what type of women you want, where you want to be, how you want to make money in that country, and then go to that place and execute, man. So pick the country.
That part right there. That part right there. You're right. Okay, that was more of my main thing. So yeah, I do need to do a little bit more research of a specific country. It does make a lot of sense.
Yeah, so like even for myself, for example, I'm here in Austin, Texas right now. I want to bring my dogs with me. There's no way I go to another country without my dogs long term. Well, I have to go look the requirements for me to bring up a dog into every country I want to go to. It's individual. You can't. There's no blanket policy, and so I have to go through and go to the embassy information, and go Google information with each country, and go figure it out. That's how it works. So you have to do the same thing. But I'll tell you this, because I was in Brazil and I talked to lawyers while I was in Brazil. You can own your own company and you can own your own property as a foreigner in Brazil.
Without being married?
Without being, I said it as a foreigner. That's the condition. You can be a foreigner. That's all you need.
Okay. I respect that. Appreciate you.
Awesome.
No problem.
Okay. Thank you, Jonathan. I got a caller that just came in. Mr. Sun.
Yeah, I appreciate your channel, IP.
Thank you very much for the kind words, Jonathan. Much appreciated. Mr. Sun June, when you fix your camera, it's all white in the background. I don't know what's happened there, brother. If you can fix that. All right. Sun June, turn your camera on, please. It's all blacked out. It's blacked out like the Black Album, like Jay-Z, by Jay-Z. Sun June, turn your camera on in the background, bro. Sun June, if you don't turn the camera on, I can't bring you on. You got any more questions there, Black Muslim?
Man, we talked about so much tonight, man. Theo, when you getting out of here to start your family, man?
It's gonna be sooner than later. I'm definitely accelerating getting my body back in shape. So I'm gonna start texting you in the morning again.
Okay.
But
Cool.
yeah, I definitely focused on this like a bit more at this time. So I'm like, okay, let's go back and do it. But that hiring issue right now is an issue affecting me. So that is definitely affecting my cash flow.
Okay.
So I can't do a jump as much as I would like to. So I'm definitely doubling down, getting my certifications up. I'm doing something that's called AI SecOps. So I'm starting to go into that area. It's kind of like a secret, but I'm doing like special things in that environment. So I'm trying to specialize there. It's a blue ocean. So that's about all I can do. That's all I can talk about at that point.
Okay. The other thing too was like it was earlier, man, that woman was talking about, it was so many of them, but the one that was saying like, I can't stand when a guy says he's disciplined, but then he sees another woman and he runs out there and goes after her. I agree with you were saying earlier, IP, like you can be that's not necessarily a lack of discipline wanting multiple women. I think it's like if you have your principles and your rules and you go out there and do it. But it's always interesting to me that these women, they pick these guys who want that life, right? So this woman walks up, she's monogamous. She wants a monogamous partner, but she's going after the poly guy. She's going after the guy who wants multiple women. Like, leave that guy alone. You already know what you want or what you don't want. Why are you trying to change him?
Yeah.
Bro, they make things a problem.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Shout out to Mr. Joshua McMillan for the $199 super chat. And great point there about Muslim. Wanted to drop in and support. Keep up for your IP. Thank you, brother, for the support. Much appreciated. A lot more Passport Bros content talk coming with me and Theo and every week. We're gonna keep them in the momentum going. The brothers love it. Shout out to Mr. The Pathfinder's Journey for the $199 super chat. Black Muslim, how is Morocco? Sounds interesting. That's a question to you, Mr. Black Muslim.
Oh man, I'm not there yet, so I'll be there in 2 weeks, man. So Theo, I'm probably gonna be catching your Saturday classes because the time difference is about to change. But I'll be there in 2 weeks, so me and IP definitely got a string plan as soon as I get the info, and I'm gonna tell y'all everything I've learned.
Awesome.
Sounds great to me.
Can't wait for that, man. Can't wait for that. Okay, so let's go on for another 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes. We're gonna wrap it up. Okay, so brothers, you want to get your calls in, you want to get your super chats in. Now is the perfect time to get your questions in. Okay, so now, Son June, you got to turn your camera on in the background, or I can't bring you in, brother. That's it, brother. Okay, it's not happening. So now let me roll it to Mr. Jonathan Anderson, brother. You got any questions?
Oh, you asked if I had any questions?
Yes, do you have any questions, bro, regarding this topic?
Honestly, bro, I'm literally like in the preparing stage, so I don't really have much to say. All I can say is I appreciate you guys' work. Uh, it's sad that we as men, especially in the West, that we gotta go overseas to find a quality woman. Understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, I'm more so about the future. You know, I gotta make sure the future is bright for me and my little girl. Um, yeah, man. I mean, it's not much. Like you guys said, I need to do my research, like I've been doing, but not, obviously not as much. Um, yeah, man. But if I'm gonna go overseas and create a business, you gotta know what you're doing. You know, this is why I called up IP to make sure I'm doing everything correctly. But I don't want to waste you guys' time, man. I appreciate you. Keep doing what you do. I'm most definitely a supporter. I will be on every live. I mean, in the chat. So expect that. Expect some donations out here.
Thank you very much for the kind words, bro, and for the future support. Much appreciated, bro. Thank you very much.
I appreciate
Yeah.
you, man.
So, just anybody who's wanting to do this, you have to think about not only rule of law, but you have to think about local taxation, plus the ability to take your money outside the country. So, like, I think it's called expedite. I forgot the expedite. I forgot the money is what it's called. There's an actual term for this. So, not all countries will allow you to easily take the money that you earn in their country out of the country. So you have to check what those laws are. You need to get a lawyer. You need to actually talk with people and learn the information. You don't expect this to be Western system. No, it's going to be their system. So as long as you understand that, cool. You know, you can actually do this. But if you don't go through that and actually understand all the steps, you're going to be in some rude surprises. So good luck. If you actually want to do that, but you need to understand what is it going to be, what they need, what are their labor laws, what are their zoning laws, what residential laws for actually making a business. You need to know all of this stuff. Capital requirements, all of it, insurance requirements. You need to know all this stuff before you actually go there.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, bro. Let me bring in Mr. Black Muslim for his last questions. You confirm, brother? Black Muslim. Thank you, bro. You want to turn the camera off? Okay, thank you, bro, for doing so. Let me bring him in. Fire away, Black Muslim.
Last question I had was what Theo was just talking about. I think it would be dope to have a like a stream that does like a pick any country and do the entire walk through the entire process as like a blueprint country. So for example, like picking the country, moving to the country, doing your business in the country, getting married in the country. Like if their marriage laws are different, like the entire process. So then you can. I know you kind of already do that with all your stuff, but I'm just saying just so people can look at that stream and be like, oh, these are the things I'm looking for. Because we talk about so many things, but they're all in different parts of different streams. Like right now we're talking about expediting money. There's going to be another time we talk about buying property in that place, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's a great point. Let me make a note of that. That's a very good point there. Let's do that in the future, Theo. I think that'll be, maybe you can do one for Japan actually, because since you're well versed in that, brother, or even Russia.
Yeah, but I mean, the one again, China has some massive limitations on this. You just can't take your money out so easily. So another example of it, you can put the money in all you want. Europe, pain in the butt. EU, oh my goodness, man, it's they're totally hostile towards this kind of stuff. That's why their populations are dying. I don't know, they're nuts. You guys are crazy. I was thinking about making a gym in Ukraine after the war was over, and I looked at their corruption, and then basically there was no way that I could effectively build a gym unless they did some sort of major corruption reform.
Yeah. Kind of limits you, isn't it? As to certain countries that will give you the right regulations, right protections, no corruption, no behind the scene deals. I agree.
So Brazil and Colombia are actually decent. It'll actually work there. So, but it you just can't be flamboyant about it. You can't charge the amount of money that you would want to do. But if you do something like, if you're thinking long term, like 20, 30 years, yeah, it's doable.
Mhm.
So that's the way you got to think about it. You got to think of it really differently than you would think about it in the West. And that's okay. That's West is where you make your money. The outside of that, that's where you would do some long-term investment. You make your family, and then you'll be fine.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I got a caller, Mr. Sid. You confirm, brother? Do you want to leave the camera on or turn it off? We got 5 minutes left, bro. Okay, give me a thumbs up, bro. Camera on. Give me a thumbs up or camera off.
All right, fellas. Good night, man.
Good night, brother. Oyasumi nasai. That means good night in Japanese. Sid, thumbs up, brother. Thumbs up. Let me see. So Sid here says on. Okay, you want your camera on? Okay, let me bring in Mr. Sid in the background. What's going on, Sid?
Hey, what's up, IP? What's up, Theo?
Hey.
What's up, brother?
Yeah, just wanted to comment on the doing business in other countries and stuff like that. This may sound obvious, but I've seen people do otherwise. Please, if you decide to start a business in another country, get a lawyer.
Yeah.
And an accountant. Do not go to another country and think that because you are an American, and this happens all of the time, do not think because you are an American that you know so damn much that you're going to go to another country, start a business without a lawyer, without thoroughly researching the business laws and the labor laws. Like I said, it may sound obvious, but this happens. I've seen it happen. Guys go to like a place like Brazil, you had better research the labor laws. Brazil has crazy labor laws. You have to pay for your employees' lunch, their transportation. If they quit the job, you have to pay them a severance. The brother that was killed in Colombia last year.
Deleted.
He went to Colombia, bought, I believe, 2 properties, did not have a lawyer, spent $200,000. And he got killed for his chain. Remember the guy that got killed for his chain?
Say it, brother. Keep it quiet. Deleted.
He got deleted. I'm sorry, IP.
No problem.
Got deleted on the street for his chain. He went down there and spent $200,000 on 2 properties. Did not have a lawyer. They found out how much money he had, and he got deleted. So that's basically what I wanted to say. Just make sure that you do some thorough research.
Yeah, that's a really big thing. And if you do have money, then what's the cost of protection? That's something I discovered when I was in Russia. So, you pay a protection price and you should be okay. Yeah, a lot of guys are not understanding this at all. They think that basically U.S. law extends to the world. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like saying like California law extends all the way to New York. I don't think so. Right.
And Theo, tell them, expand on what you meant by the protection. Make sure that people understand what you just said.
Okay. So what I said about protection was that I paid a price to the mafia. And then I also did all my, hard currency exchange with the mafia. And because of that, I had protection. Anywhere I went in St. Petersburg, no one was to mess with me.
That also happens in a lot of countries, including Brazil, including Colombia. You pay that street tax.
Right. Now, there's got to be smart about it. And I had no problems with that. I remember I paid bribes to Moscow police officers when I was there over various things. And it was no big deal because everybody was paying a bribe. I paid a lot of bribes to Ukrainians back in 2010 when I was in Kiev again in Poltava. That's just the way it is, A lot of guys don't understand that. They don't understand how to be street smart, and they end up getting, what can I say, sent back home by various means, by different means than they arrived. So you got to be smart about it. I definitely am. I definitely, when I go abroad, I definitely have my street smarts. People say, "Oh, you don't know what's going on." I'm like, go on the plane with me. You'll find out what happens. Like, I'll deny that I know who you are because I'm going to survive. And so, if you have a problem, like, I'm going to let you be swarmed, particularly if you're being stupid. So, just the way things are.
Awesome. All right, we need to wrap up. Sid, thank you, brother. Let me read this PayPal donation and read a super chat. Thank you, Sid, for calling in. Much appreciated, bro.
Right.
Shout out to Mr. Adrian for the £5 donation via PayPal. Appreciate you, bro. Great stream, Theo and IP. The US empire is great for making money, bad for raising families. Yes, indeed. Yes, IP. The average single Western woman are lizard-brained bimbos. Fusion power is a viable alternative.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of look at them and say, time's gonna, like, they always think that Prince Charming is gonna come out of nowhere and swoop them up. And I'm like, are you sure about that? Like, do you know about the number of Prince Charmings? Like, are you really thinking about this? Like, all right. 20 years later, like, are you still waiting? Because if I want to get a fried egg sandwich from you, I'll come over to you, right? We got plenty of fried eggs. All right. It sounds bad, but it's actually true. They never understand it. Like, come on. Oh well.
Yep. Yes, indeed. And I'm looking at the live stream chat. Yeah, I remember when that brother got deleted. Unfortunate. And a couple AB doubles were making fun of him, which was very sad to see and hear. May he rest in peace. Shout out to Mr. J Remo for the £5 super chat. Appreciate you, bro. Theo takes the floor, a warrior of bites, with wisdom to store, mentors of clouds. In the cybernetic law, we chair his tales and silently implore. Whoa, bravo, poetic.
That was good. I gotta admit, that was good. I like that. That was a good one, Jay Remo. That's good. What can I say? I gotta help him get a job, man. I gotta go work on that. He's in the UK too. What's up with you guys in the UK? The UK is probably gonna lose 10% of its GDP in the next 5 years.
Need to leave.
Yeah, because of Brexit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty terrible here. It's getting worse, bruv. Yeah. Horrible woman. I don't even want to speak on them.
Do you know?
But the job market,
do you know what it might really lose, which is going to be sad? It might lose the London financial district
to Germany, right?
Yeah, to Germany. Like, all Germany needs is a few reforms in terms of taxation, and it can go there. That or the Netherlands, Amsterdam area. So I'm just looking at this like, can we go back? I liked UK being a part of the EU. It was really nice. It was very convenient. Can we please go back? No, we don't do it now. Like, oh, you made the wrong decision, guys. Come on. Oh well.
It is what it is, man. We can't change the time. It is what it is, bruv. Shout out to Mr. Sid Owsley for the $4.99 super chat. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks, IP and Theo. Great content. Thank you, bro. You're welcome. Yeah. You are welcome for the kind words. Okay, so let us wrap it up. Okay, I want to say a huge thank you to Mr. Theo and all those who hit the super chats and PayPal donation for the support. Theo, what's your closing comment before we let you go, brother?
I would say, guys, again, thank you for having me on your stream. I love doing this. It's actually kind of fun. Do divide that into 3 different areas: where you work, the nationality for marriage and where you can make a family or where you can actually own property in order to make a family. You need to understand the difference between those three. Again, the way I look at it, America, Slavic life, and live in Brazil or live in Colombia. That's the way I would do it. I'm not you guys, but everybody is different, which is fine. I totally respect that. But you just have to break that down and say, what is your cup of tea? So, guys, go do a lot of research. The world's going to change a lot in the next 10 years. There's going to be a huge change. So get in a position, keep on doing cloud, keep on doing programming, and you're going to make it out. All right?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, Theo. Salute to you, Theo. Appreciate you, brother.
See you later. Yep.
See you, brother. Thank you, bro. Salute to you, brothers who supported today. Salute to you, brothers in the live stream chat. Salute to you, brothers who support the channel with your donations. I don't get much, but any little I get, I'm appreciative of it. Thank you very much. And keep pushing, keep thriving. Join the Patreon. You know, look at the tier options on the Patreon. Pick what's best for you. Change your life. Let me help you change your life. Seek success, seek structure, get into crypto, and believe in yourself, brothers, and get into IT too. Okay. I'm International Passport, and I'm gonna see you, brothers, right, on the next show next week. Congratulations on the brother Dark Dissident. My former Python class member. Appreciate you, bro, for passing your SAA last week, bro. Well done. Super proud of you, brother. Very smart man on his way to major success. Well done, bro. Well done, brother. Congratulations, Duck, for passing. That can be you too, brothers. That can be you too. Take that leap of faith and succeed and keep pushing forward. So where is everyone listening in from? What country, what city, what state? Break it down for me, brothers. Please break it down, 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 break it down. All right, where y'all listening in from, man? What country, what city, brothers? Okay. What country, what city? In the last 2 minutes, last minute, let's see how truly international we are. How international are we? South Carolina, Louisiana. Shout out to the South. Shout out to the South. We've got 2 Southern brothers in the building. Brooklyn, New York. Appreciate you. Shout out to Brooklyn. Brooklyn. Stand up. The home of Jay-Z and Biggie. Shout out to North Carolina, home of J. Cole and the and some good rappers. New York, Washington DC, Tactics TV, UK, London. Awesome. Shout out to the brothers in London and the UK. Shout out to brothers in DC, Washington DC. Good place. A lot of affluent brothers doing well there in DC. Love hearing that. Love seeing that. And I wish them even more success and fortune in their lives out there in DC. Awesome, brothers. Anyone in Europe, anyone in Asia, anyone in Africa, right? How truly international are we? And once again, if you've traveled before, you want to come on the channel for an interview, send me a DM on IG. USA, Virginia, another Southern brother. Greenwood, Colorado. Awesome, bro. That's in the north, right? If I'm not mistaken. Fantastic, man. Okay. Awesome. Shout out to our American brothers worldwide. Okay. All right, brothers. All right, yeah. Enjoy yourselves. Shout out to Trust Truth out there in Japan. We got to catch up, bro, over a phone call, brother. Let's do it when you're free. Please message me. I know different time zones conflict, but when you're free, brother, let me know, okay? So shout out to you, brothers, man. This has been a great live stream. I wish you all the best this coming week. Success, opportunity, and blessings, man. So peace out, brothers. Have a great, important week ahead. This is gonna be a crazy week. Content's coming, and you're gonna like the countries this week we're gonna speak about. Okay, don't you miss it. And I'll see you, brothers, very soon. Peace. Peace out. Thank you very much.